second place. But for the wild card, he'll be pleased. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't go and talk to Freddie Lindgren too quickly after this one, because he's going to be wet, and he's only got 1 point from 2 rides, and that's tough. Look at that. Look at that. He's having a word. He's having a word with them, and there's no question that the amount of water that went down on the track was causing some frustration for riders there.
Yeah. Well, Sapelski will be a happy man. And now we move on to heat number 6. Can Tai Woffinden continue the winning run? And can Christoph Kasperzak continue Gate 1's winning run here? Because that's the man in the red helmet colour, with Woffinden alongside him. Then it's Zagar and Frick. Max Frick, who has had a reasonable series, speaks very well. We heard from him a little bit earlier. And Kasperzak off 1, Woffinden off 2, winner first time out. Mate Zagar of Slovenia off gate number 3 in white. Then it's Max Frick going off the outside in that yellow helmet colour. 2 points to his name so far as well. Is this the moment where the gate 1 monopoly is broken, or will Kasperzak make the start and continue the domination from that position?
I fancy Woffinden here. I think he'll have too much speed for Kasperzak, but I would still expect Kasperzak to get there. And just depends on how the track reacts, you know. If it's still slippery like it was in the previous race, so it will be, because of course it's cold now and it's chilly. So starting will be very, very key at this stage.
Yep, here we go.
Great
Woffinden has made a beauty of a gate. You were spot on, Kelv. You called it. Woffinden nailed that start, and round the outside comes Max Frick of Australia as well. Britain's Woffinden leads Australia's Frick. Poland's Kasperzak is third, and Slovenia's Zagar is the man on the back right now. But the lead is with the 3 times champion of the world, Tai Woffinden, who has a love affair with Torun. This stadium has such fond memories for him. He said that just a few moments ago in an interview, and look at him kicking on, dominating heat number 6.
Vintage Woffinden out in front. This is more like it. Finish the season like this, Tai. You'll just remind everybody that you are the real deal. He's struggled this season. He's had injuries in the last few years, but he started like a house on fire here in Torun tonight. Fabulous out of gate number 2. Textbook start. The opposition have got no answers. Frick in second place. Solid start for Frick, but Woffinden dominant.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Woofy in heat number 6. And no wonder the British fans are delighted with that. Still got many fans.
How fast was he? That's
very quick. And many fans that maybe have got up early in the morning to watch this as well in Australia. We are on the world feed commentary duty tonight. So hi to all our Australian viewers. Tai, of course, was raised in Perth after being born in Scunthorpe in the United Kingdom. And he breaks the gate number 1 monopoly. He's the first rider not on gate 1 to win a race in Torun tonight.
Yes, smashing stuff from Woffinden, and it was an absolute perler of a start. Watch this, bike absolutely rips to the first corner, and he is comfortably in front. And from that moment on, he literally flies away out in front. Super from him. Frick rides strongly in second place. Racing's still not great. We do need the track just to dry a little bit more, and that outside line will begin to work. Kasperzak back into third place, and disappointment for Zagar. But for this man, unbeaten out of his first 2 rides, and looks absolutely superb, I must say. He looks relaxed on the bike. He's looking to push on and try and catch Freddie Lindgren in the championship. But 2 out of 2 for Woffinden, and I must say I've been very impressed with that.
Yes, that'll do nicely for Tai as we build up to heat number 7. And again, our panoramic view from the drone. Sending me dizzy, that. Heat number 7 it is. Doyley, Jason Doyle inside in red. From Australia, Emil Sayfutdinov goes off gate 2 in blue. Oliver Bernson of Sweden off 3, and Mats Janowski. The real mystery of the GP series. Where has it gone wrong for Mats Janowski? He's off the outside in yellow.
Very difficult to understand, has all sorts of help. He's an experienced rider now, has been around a while, and it just hasn't happened for him in the second half. World champion looking on. He goes from gate 4, not ideal there. Got to say, the track will begin to come back to the riders now as it turns over. You might well see that the outside line begins to work now, but Sayfutdinov, tell you what, Doyle needs points on the inside.
Yes, he does, after that disappointing opening ride.
Oh, he's
Jason
nervous.
Doyle. Yeah, very nervous at the start,
Yeah.
and the red lights are on.
Yeah, movement on the start. Wouldn't be surprised if Doyle gets a warning there. Janowski will be disappointed because he got away nicely.
He did from gate number 4, looked really good. And this is where now, under the 2021 regulations, they've got a minute to be back at the start. So, yeah, although they pull up at the pit gate, they've got 1 minute instead of 2 to be back at the start. But Emil moved as well, you know, Kel.
Doyle went.
Emil moved as well. What's this?
Yeah, only after Doyle
Yeah,
moved.
fair comment.
Yeah, only after. So Doyle, they may both get warnings, but Doyle will definitely get a warning for that. And it's quite often that Jason has a warning on a Grand Prix, isn't it? It's not very. It's quite rare that he doesn't get a warning in a Grand Prix.
Well, we are told that both red and blue, Doyle and Seifutenhoff, do get a warning for that.
Yeah, hard on Seifutenhoff, but Jesper Steentoft obviously feels that he warranted it. He'll be a bit frustrated by that. Doyle knows he's got it. He's just going to have to sit still now, and he needs to just behave himself.
By the way, we have another Polish world champion in Speedway. The new world under-21 world champion is Jakub Miskowiak of Poland. Runner-up is Mats Hansen, and then Victor Lampart in 3rd place. That's the world under-21 champion is...
So the Polish dominance
Jakub
continues.
Miskowiak. Yeah, Poland dominating again.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a production line of under-21 riders coming through, so no surprise there. Emil Seifutenhoff, we're focusing on with the warning now. We'll have to just be a little bit more disciplined on the start. Very difficult to control yourself when the guy you're looking across moves. I mean, it really is very difficult, and it seems quite harsh that he gets a warning for that. Jason Doyle, well, he will have to accept that. Champion looking on. Right, here we go. Second time of asking, Nige.
Yep.
Jason Doyle again. He will need points here.
You can clearly feel the pressure, Doyley. Here we go, heat number 7. No option but to stay at the start, and he's missed it completely. Jason Doyle, Emil Seifutenhoff has got there. Man in white charging hard, Oliver Bernsen, but Doyle holds second spot. Now Janowski will try the inside run to try and get the better of Oliver Bernsen as Doyle goes wide.
Bernsen.
That allows the door to be open for Bernsen.
Janowski.
And here comes Janowski, and Bernsen goes down.
Ooh, who's going to go there?
Oh dear.
3 abreast.
Dear,
Doyle
dear,
had
dear.
nowhere to go because Janowski was up the inside. Contact from Doyle onto Bernsen. Bernsen has to go down. And
somebody is the cause of this stoppage. Somebody is the cause
there
of
was
the stoppage.
three abreast.
So who do you call it? How do you call it? Here.
Well, I think the referee might call it, saying that the cause of the stoppage was Doyle hitting Bernsen.
Well,
that would be really hard.
tough on Jason.
Really tough, because he had no room to go anywhere,
No.
because he had Janowski right up the inside of him. Really difficult call, this, actually. Really difficult call. No malice in it. It was just a genuine racing incident. And unfortunately for Oliver Bernsen, he finds himself on the rough end of the stick.
Well, well, well. Big decision to be made by Jesper Steentoft, the Danish referee.
Because whatever decision he makes here, somebody's going to feel very aggrieved.
Yes. And after Jason Doyle's opening ride, when he got out of control, if he's thrown out of this one, well, goodness me, you've got to feel for him. I wouldn't like to be the referee making this call, Kel.
No, not this one, because as we see now, Bernsen's done nicely to get into second place here momentarily, but as they all concertina up here, Doyle's actually clouted him, but Doyle had nowhere to go because Janowski's right up the inside of him. You know, Steentoft might look at that and say, well, Doyle's hit him, so Bernsen went down as a consequence of the contact from the Australian. But that would be harsh. But then it would also be extremely harsh, because Doyle hits him hard, but Bernsen was kind of almost prepared for it, wasn't he? You could almost see the body language waiting for the contact. So
This is a tough call.
I wouldn't like to make it. I really don't know quite which way it's going to go, but maybe it'll be Bernsen, and because he just...
No, I'm hearing it may well be Jason Doyle, Kel.
Yeah, because he's the one that's hit Bernsen.
It's not his night, is it?
But where was Doyle going to go?
Well, yeah, Jason Doyle is the man. Well, he don't go near Jason Doyle in the pits now.
Wouldn't go and talk to him right now.
No, because that just underlines that maybe it is just not Jason Doyle's night, Kelv.
Well, 0 from 2 rides and under pressure with 3 to go. Of course, he can still make the semi-finals, but that's a nightmare start for the Australian. Untidy ride in his first race and then excluded for that with no real fault of his own. What was he meant to do? You don't have brakes on a speedway bike, so you can't just suddenly stop or slow down. You've got to commit yourself. Janowski was on there on the inside, but any way that went, anyway, the man trudging back, who's the one who had, you know, hit the ground, was on his backside. If he had been thrown out, he would have been extremely aggrieved. He would have said, well, what did I do wrong?
That was an impossible one for Jesper Steentoft to call. And I feel for Jason Doyle. I do.
I do. But as I say...
I'm not saying it's a wrong call, but I feel for Jason Doyle.
I think the referee will just go that Jason Doyle hit Berntsen and Berntsen went down, and that's why he's put him out.
Yeah, well, Speedway can be such a cruel sport at times. Oh, he clouted him, didn't he?
Yeah, but because Janowski steamed up...
So is there a case to exclude Janowski?
Yeah, yeah, you could go there. But it's a racing incident,
it's
isn't
just
it?
Speedway, yeah.
Yeah.
From there, how can you exclude Janowski? You can't.
Can't. And because Doyle's hit Berntsen, that's why he's the one to go.
Wow.
Tough.
That's Speedway, that's World Championship Speedway for you. It's tough. It's hard. And now we await the restart again of heat number 7. Just waiting for the 2 minutes to go on after the race director will have checked on Oliver Berntsen to see that he's okay. Nice atmosphere in the stadium with a smaller than anticipated crowd, I think it's fair to say. Surely it'll be a lot bigger tomorrow when the title will be decided. So the 2 minute clock is on.
Yeah, great atmosphere generated by the Polish fans there.
I think they've just heard about the World Under-21 result.
Could be. Could be.
Another world champion.
Well, they're getting used to that now. They had to wait a long time for individual world champions. Of course, Thomas Gollop was the last one prior to Schmarzlik, and he was the first one in, well, decades.
Since 1973.
There you go. So, you know, for such a powerhouse of a country, they took a long time to get an individual winner.
Jerzy Sazakil, the late Jerzy Sazakil now, sadly.
Yes, sadly.
1973. Last time I saw Jerzy was in the hotel actually in Torino.
Yeah, agreed.
A couple of years ago, do you remember?
Yeah, we were with it. We sort of smiled and shook his hand. But no, it's...
I bet he was delighted with it.
He was, yeah, he was...
Meant a lot to him.
Yeah, it did, yeah, it went a long way. But no, there's no doubt that the under-21 scene in Poland is very strong and has been for some time. You know, Schmarzlik and Janowski and Szapelski, Dudek, all those guys have come through that production line, and they just keep winning now at that stage.
Yes, but as we know from today, of course, the new rights holders of the SGP have appointed the 6 times champion of the world, Tony Ricardson, as ambassador going forward for the SGP series, and Tony has made a big play today in a press conference about encouraging young riders, giving youngsters the opportunity to step forward and find a pathway towards World Championship Speedway. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops over the next few years, not just in Poland, but Sweden, Denmark, Great Britain.
I don't think Poland's the problem. It's Scandinavia and Britain and the rest of the world
trying to catch up and keep up.
That's gonna take money.
Yeah, well, let's see. Heat number 7. 3 riders only then. No Jason Doyle in this one, which is tough on Doyley, that's for sure. Good start from Emil Sayfutdinov. He's made a good start off gate number 2. Nobody on the inside, of course. Now Janowski is going to try that inside run on Oliver Berntsen going into turn 3. Berntsen tries to clamp him down and hold tight there, but second spot right now, Mats Janowski. Berntsen is third. Emil Sayfutdinov has that lead right now. The Russian rocket. Oh my goodness me.
Ran wide there, Nige, just picked up a bit of drive. Janowski looks a little bit more. Well, he's got a bit more about him this time. He had a chat with Greg Hancock prior to this heat, and he's really got his head down. Berntsen has been dropped. Emil's out in front. He's got it under control, but you've got to say, Janowski is pushing hard in second place. But this will be good for Emil Sayfutdinov. Freddie Lindgren has had a disastrous start. 1 point from 2 rides. Unhappy with conditions last time. But Sayfutdinov probably going to move on to 6 points. Will move on to 6 points.
Yeah, and he'll have 1 foot in the semi-final already. Oh, Janowski. Oh, goodness me. What is going on?
Thrown away there.
God, that was a bit of a scare for Magic. But that is a good ride from Emil Sayfutdinov, who's hugely popular wherever he goes. And has got 6 points out of 6 so far. Emil, and 1 foot in the semi-finals. That's when whatever you've scored previously counts for very little. Just get there. And then, of course, it's where you finish in the semis and the final where the points are allocated in the 2021 SGP system. Emil from Janowski, from Berndsen, from Doyle, excluded, of course. And it means that Emil Sayfutdinov and Tai Woffinden at the top of the board on 6 points apiece so far.
Yeah, super stuff from Sayfutdinov. And he started really well, and he's quite clearly looking for a medal this weekend. He wants the bronze. And no chance of him getting a silver, but such a class act, always superbly turned out. And if the rumours are to be true, then he will be joining this club next year. And I tell you what, no better way of doing that by winning a Grand Prix here at the end of this weekend. And Emil is looking good here. But Laguta is the man, of course, his compatriot that is going for a championship. But a smile on his face, he looks pretty relaxed, and why wouldn't you? 2 out of 2, 6 points. He's only probably 2 points away, possibly, from the semi-final.
Yes, indeed. As we move on to heat number 8 after this race, everybody will have had their 2 programmed rides. Of course, Jason Doyle, his 0 counts as a programmed ride for that exclusion that we just saw a few moments ago. Heat number 8. Francois Ribeiro and Tony Ricardson from the new rights holders watching on, interested observers in Torun in the final 2 rounds of the series. Martin Vasilek off the inside in the red helmet colour. Leon Madsen goes off gate number 2 in blue. Bartosz Zmarzlik gate 3 white. All eyes on him.
Yeah.
Anders Thompson off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, Janowski a little bit stronger that time. Greg just having a bit of a debrief with him. No question that those two work well together. And but this man out of gate number 3. The world champion, trying to retain his title. Can he make it 3 on the spin? Second time out on the track.
2 points to his name so far for Bartosz Zmarzlik. He's made a beauty off gate number 3, but he hasn't quite got there. He's too far away from the first turn, and now the battle is on down the back straight. He loves diving into that turn, Bartosz Zmarzlik. The lead here is the man in red, Martin Vasilek. Now Vasilek is going to try and hold on to the lead, but there's no stopping a man in form like Bartosz Zmarzlik, who has just taken him apart in heat number 8 with a fantastic move. But Vasilek is going to come back for more.
He doesn't look convincing, Nigel. No. He hasn't quite got the speed out there. Martin Vasilek actually wasn't doing very much. Oh! Oh, he gets clouted by Anders Thompson. I thought for a moment he was going over the handlebars. That's done Leon Madsen a favour, coming through in the second place. Martin Vasilek, he's quite clearly going to pull up there. There's some sort of problem for him, but for Zmarzlik, he's going to win the race. But he hasn't got the speed he needs to win the Grand Prix, I would suggest.
No, he's been pushed really hard by Madsen there. It was I mean, he rode brilliantly. Rode absolutely brilliantly, but concerns for Vasilek.
Bad news.
He's been hit by the bike. He has been hit by the bike. That is a major concern.
Well, he was hit by Anders Thompson.
Yes, exactly.
And quite clearly,
but has Anders Thompson's bike done the damage? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's ripped the handlebars out, and possibly that collarbone injury has just reared its head there. Struggling there. Zmarzlik, a lucky win in the end.
Yeah, not convincing, was it, for Bartosz Zmarzlik? But he's got 5 points out of a possible 6. Maximum men so far, Tai Woffinden and Emil Sayfutdinov. Right, we're now getting clarification, Kel, that Thompson is excluded and that Martin was awarded a point there.
Okay.
But that might be little consolation because he might be ruled out of the weekend.
I can't see him riding again. Here we go. And tapes up. And difficult to make the start from the outside tonight because Martin Vasilek initially on the inside is there. Looked like Zmarzlik was going to get in front. He had to work hard. And then Martin Vasilek actually was just sort of sitting on the inside of him, doing his own thing, and very nearly got himself back to the front. Quite clearly, there's the moment. Oh. And quite clearly there, the stress on the shoulder from Martin Vasilek here, where he gets clouted from behind. He is very fortunate not to have had a high side, but possibly the damage to that left collarbone. It just rears its head here, and he can't hang on. That's a shame. That's a real shame. But Bartosz Zmarzlik, 5 points out of 6. That's handy, but he's going to have to up his game if he wants to win here tonight.
Yeah, confirmation then that Vasilek is awarded 3rd, Thompson is excluded. So, 6 points apiece, Woffinden and Sayfutdinov. Well, fingers crossed that's not a weekend-ending and season-ending injury for Martin Vaclik.
Could be.
Let's hear from Sweden's Freddie Lindgren now, with Marcia down in the pits.
Freddie, it's very nice to see you smiling, although the beginning of this round of Sweden Grand Prix wasn't the best for you. What are the insights from your perspective about those first heats?
Well, I can only speak the first one. I was outridden by two good guys. The last one after the grading, they put way too much water, like they have done in the past in the Grand Prix Series this year, I feel, and I was really fuming on Phil Morris, the race director, and still not happy with it.
Do you think they can still change something with the surface here?
Say again?
Do they can change something with the surface here at the Motorarena at this moment?
No, the only thing they put like 3 laps of water on a cold night like today. It was just totally greasy, and the riders were just skidding on ice, really.
It's very difficult to get back on the right track after maybe not the very good beginning. You mentioned that you got a little bit furious. So how to cool yourself down right now?
I'm pretty cool now. I'm focused. I'm going to try and make the gate to the next one and fly off.
It's the end of the season, so what do you think how it will look like for you?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. It's still a few heats to go and another round tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Well, a frustrated Freddie Lindgren. I have some sympathy, but nonetheless, he's got 3 more opportunities to battle his way into the semi-finals. Because what will also be pouring salt in the wound is that he's the man he's trying to chase, and with that man there, Emil Sayfutdinov, is unbeaten from his first 2 rides. So it's been a difficult start to the Grand Prix. But he's right, on a cold night, it is a little bit odd to see that much water go down.
So, yep. Let's hear from Pavel Shepelski, the wild card of Torun. We can hear from him now.
Pavel Shepelski here with us, starting with the wildcard. First of all, I need to ask you, you've become a father recently, so how are you feeling?
To be honest, it's one of the best months in my life, so I'm so happy. So we have a small, little, lovely daughter that's, dreams comes true.
Congratulations once again. What does it mean to you to be starting here tonight as the wildcard? Is it a kind of rehearsal before 2022?
Always good to be in this kind of meeting, so thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here with the best riders in the world. So for me, is I'm so happy because it's my home track. So, but today the track is a little bit different than usual on PGA Extraliga. So I'm doing my best, and we'll see.
The first start wasn't very good, but the second outing much better. Was it the matter of the gates, or you have changed something?
Also, I changed something, but to be honest, gate 4 is really hard to make good start from there. So it's so slick and so far to the inside. So we'll see. How I told, I will try, and gate 4 was the biggest. I will try.
So now it's going to be all best, all good. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Well, Pavel Shepelski, the new father, congratulations to him. As we see 1 or 2 moments of the action. It's not been a Torun spectacular so far, Kelv, it's fair to say, is it not?
Yeah, you're right. And we just need the track to evolve a little bit more, and I'm sure we'll see some much better riding. The first 8 races have been fairly predictable. We've had 1 or 2 incidents that was one, but it was more to do with like Anders Thompson when he bumped into the back of Martin Vaclik, more than genuine proper racing that we see here so often. But it is important that the track is allowed to evolve, otherwise we won't see it until very late on. Emil Sayfutdinov starting nicely. There's that moment there. That's very, very lucky in one way for Martin Vaclik, because he could have gone over the high side. Anders Thompson out of control, far too much speed, but and got thrown out of the race for that, which is right. But for Martin Vaclik, I wonder if he's re-injured that collarbone that he broke badly earlier in the season. It does suggest that that could be the case. But
Could Anders Thompson have done better there, Kelv?
the only way he could have done any better is to put the bike down.
Right, okay.
And he
Which
clearly,
is not an easy thing to do,
no,
naturally, is
he
it?
didn't want to do that, did he?
No. Fair comment. Yeah, Wolfenden and Sayfutdinov, 6 points apiece. We prepare for the third round of heats in the SGP of Poland. Jason Doyle watching on. It has just not been his night. The rider's now at the fence.
Interesting to see if there is any water go on the track now. We've got some big hitters there leaning over the fence, keeping an eye on it.
Two rivals going for the world title having a bit of a giggle.
Yeah, they're obviously friendly. Might not be friendly in the final tomorrow. If it's on the line.
I just wonder, are there mind games going on there?
Oh, I don't think so. I think they're pretty cool with one another. It's unusual though, isn't it? It is unusual when they're both battling for the same prize, the ultimate prize. Plenty of track grading going on. Be very interesting. Riders are now nervous about that because clearly that last grading break went on for some time, and a significant amount of water went on the track, and quite possibly there's been words exchanged. Certainly from Freddie Lindgren. Freddie Lindgren was furious with Phil Morris.
Yeah, he didn't mince his words, did he, Freddie?
No, because he's fighting for third place in the world, Nigel, and all of a sudden he's in a position where the track conditions are not conducive to be able to race. And he made it very clear with Marcella that he felt that it was unnecessary.
Well. Riders just watching interesting. Yes, Kelv. Mark Seabright?
Mark Seabright there, who's been a long-time mechanic for Jason Doyle in the UK.
Yes.
Obviously, that's no longer the case because Jason isn't riding in the UK. Freddie with a wry smile, but he'll be fuming inside because 1 point from his opening 2 rides, and seeing his nearest competitor, Emil Sayfutdinov on 6, then there's work to be done by Freddie. But we've seen him bounce back on numerous occasions, and he, I'm sure, will do his very best to do so in the upcoming races. He's not out until heat 11 when he goes off gate number 2. But again, this is a long grading break.
Yes, very long. Ty Wolfenden shouting out. He's telling him.
The likelihood of dust on a night like tonight is remote.
Armando Castagna from the FIM having a chat with Ty Wolfenden. Here comes the water car. We will be on with the racing very soon. Not quite sure how long. Hopefully maybe, what, 3 minutes from now, something like that. And we will be back on with the action in Torrent, the Marianne Rose Motor Arena. The vehicle the riders are all talking about, it seems. So please bear with us. We will be on with the action very soon. The Marianne Rose Arena in Torrent. Race director Phil Morris calling the shots. And we await the resumption of racing with heat number 9. Max Frick, Anders Thompson, Robert Lambert and Jason Doyle coming up.
Well, we're in a situation now where there's clearly cross-communication. We've got water going around the inside of the track. I don't think I can say too much more, Nigel. You carry on, mate.
Okay. So, yeah. Heat number 9 coming up. And again, we are a little bit behind schedule. We were due to be pushing off 2 or 3 minutes ago for heat number 9. So, quite sure what the situation is.
Well, it's obvious.
Right now.
It's obvious. We had water put on the track when I think every rider in the pit...
But not a lot.
Yeah, but we don't need any.
Yeah, okay. Right. We'll be on with the action imminently then, by the looks of it now. Yeah, Yes, so the riders on their way out. Robert Lambert in the white helmet colour from Great Britain. Jason Doyle's out in this one as well. Really needs to make a start, but gate number 4 is not ideal for Doyley on a night that, well, things have just gone against him from start to finish. Number 9 coming up, the penultimate round of this year's World Championship Series. It all concludes tomorrow night in the Marianne Rose Motor Arena in Torun. So we build up to the action. Heat number 9 coming up. Can Lambert continue his good night of work? He's off gate number 3, and we'll find out in a few moments. Heat number 9 then, Max Frick goes off the inside in red from Australia. Anders Thompson of Denmark, gate 2 in blue. Robert Lambert has had a good night so far. He's off gate 3 in white, 5 points out of a possible 6. And Jason Doyle going off the outside gate in yellow. Heat number 9 coming up. And Robert Lambert looking to continue his great run of form. A longer than anticipated break between heats 8 and 9. But we're ready to go with the action now. Bartosz Zmarzlik watching on. Second in the championship, looking for a 3rd straight world title, which would be a remarkable achievement. We are hearing whispers, by the way, that Martin Vaculik is ruled out of the meeting, which is such a shame, and we hope he's not too badly hurt, of course, as we build up to race number 9 in Torun, as the action gets underway again. Oh, Robert Lambert moving at the start. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, 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 red lights are on, and he knows he's done it as well, Robert. A frustrated figure, Kelv.
Yeah, absolutely, Nige. You know, after such a strong start to the night, you can't afford to do that at this level. You just can't afford to do it. You know, he's out. He's touched the tapes there, so he's gone.
Here we see it again. Yeah, he's touched them, yeah. But it's beyond doubt.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, 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 that gives an opportunity to Krzysztof Lewandowski.
Yeah, but there's no excuse either for looking at Doyle. Doyle wasn't moving.
Yeah.
That's a shame. That's a real shame, because with 5 points from 2 rides...
Great position.
Great foundation to work from. Even if he'd just picked up a point there, you're still in it. And again, that's lack of experience, a little bit nervous. Possibly, you know, worried about the fact that he's going from gate 3, which isn't working that well. But that's where you've just got to be a bit smart and just say, look, 1 point's better than none. And now he's out.
Yes, and I'm sure Thomas Kaczynski will be having a word with him. He's got to eradicate that from his game.
Well, he's given a lot of points away this year.
He has, yeah, yeah.
I mean, and it's a harsh place, you know, like nobody's going to do you a favour out there. I'm just looking at his upcoming rides, what gates he's got. Gate 1 in heat 17. But he's up against Seifuchenov, Wolfenden and Madsen, not easy. And then he's got his 4th ride. He's got gate 4 in heat 13,
yeah,
up against Zmarzlik. So, you know, he's made life tough. Simple as that. So, Mr. Lewandowski.
Lewandowski with quite a surname.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on then. Get it out of the way. Come on.
Will he find the back of the net?
No, he's going to score tonight.
Yeah, he's going to score, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, poor effort again. We're at the end of the season.
We are indeed, but that man, he's got work to do. Jason Doyle, pointless so far, will be very frustrated.
Yeah.
We'll need to try and pick up a win here. Capable, but it's going to need that track to behave.
Let's try again with heat 9. It's even longer wait now since heat number 8. Max Frick off the inside, Anders Thompson off to Krzysztof Lewandowski off gate number 3 in white, and then it's Jason Doyle off the outside in yellow. Apologies for my painful attempt at a pun with a Lewandowski
I will say
name.
that I had it earlier, people, so I've had to endure it twice now.
You didn't approve it for broadcast, did you?
No, I didn't. I
just went with it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Just shows you.
Yeah.
You don't take anything I say seriously.
No,
clearly.
absolutely.
World champion's looking on. He's taking it seriously, thank God.
Yes.
And he's chasing for a 3rd world title. Now, Jason Doyle, he needs some points.
Can he get on the score sheet?
Oh,
Jason Doyle, he's missed the start there. The start is with Anders Thompson. He's made a good one of two. Lewandowski has charged. Oh, my goodness, calm down. Lewandowski all over the place there. The lead is with Anders Thompson. Max Frick working hard in second spot. Now Jason Doyle is third in yellow, and the reserve Lewandowski at the back in for the excluded Robert Lambert. Doyle trying to really close the gap on his fellow countryman Max Frick, but he can't do it, and Thompson has that lead right now.
Yeah, this is not enough for Jason Doyle. That'll be his night pretty much done, even if he wins his next two rides. Very unlikely he'll make the semi-finals. Anders Thompson, this is good for him. Frick in second. Racing once again is not great. It's difficult to overtake. Track's just not coming to the riders. Frick's beginning to work it out here. They've watered the inside but not the outside, and Frick's going to hit the front. Good
Nice
move.
ride.
Nice ride. He took a couple of laps to work it out, and he's got the better of Anders Thompson. Has he got any comeback in him? No. Good ride from Frick.
Yeah, well done, Max Frick. Terrific stuff in heat number 9 there for the Australian. That is an excellent result. He really wound it on right until the end. He stayed patient as well. He rode an intelligent line. 59.39 the winning time, and he got it absolutely spot on there, Max Frick.
Yeah.
Who's on 7 points from 3 rides now.
Yeah, won here last year.
Excellent, excellent.
Looking good.
Yeah, good ride from Max Frick. Anders Thompson was second. Jason Doyle gets his first point of the evening, but as Kelvin says, nowhere near enough in the context
Needed to win
of the
it.
meeting.
Needed
Yeah,
to
he
win
really
that
did
race.
need to win that. Yeah, absolutely. And 7 points so far for Australia's Max Frick, whose team manager Mark Lemon is in the stadium tonight, looking over Jason Doyle and Max Frick, looking over their shoulders and making sure they're okay. Well, Max Frick rode a really clever ride here.
Yeah, well, Lewandowski clearly a little bit overexcited there, and that does Doyle a favour, but unfortunately for Jason, the third place is not what he was looking for. He needed really to be out in front. Frick rides nicely, doesn't he? He works it out. Anders Thompson, after a good start and looking strong in the opening lap, Frick gets the better of the Dane and fires himself to the front. And this is doing Max Frick a whole load of good, because he's outside the top 6. He will need a pick for next year. Riding well this evening. Fond memories of Torrent. And I tell you what, 7 points out of 9, that's a very solid start from the Aussie boy.
Yeah, it is. Really good. Now, here we go with Artem Laguta. He's off gate number 2, and his fellow countryman Emil Sayfutdinov is alongside him on 3, but also alongside him, to his left, off gate number 1, is Bartosz Zmarzlik. Now, nothing will be decided in this race. Absolutely nothing. We've got to go all the way through to tomorrow night. And, of course, it's all about these boys building their score to book a place in the semi-final. And Zmarzlik on 5, Laguta 4, Sayfutdinov on 6. They're ticking along quite nicely so far.
They are indeed, and Laguta came up against a difficult track. I'll go no further than that, and picked up a solitary point. But Zmarzlik, who was a winner last time, but not a convincing winner, has he made a few tweaks to the equipment. Sayfutdinov flying. What a tasty racing prospect here. Heat number 10.
Yep, and Laguta has made an absolute beauty. And now he's gone square in the turn. That allows the opportunity for Sayfutdinov. Oh, stay on your bikes, boys. There's a world title to race for here, and a bronze medal. Emil Sayfutdinov in white, really working hard. Zagar's not done with Zmarzlik. Zmarzlik looks as though he's a little bit under power tonight. The leaders of Laguta, second place Sayfutdinov, and Zmarzlik is third.
Laguta flying out in front. What a start under pressure. Zmarzlik hunting down Sayfutdinov. Outside line where they haven't watered is working now. Zmarzlik is certainly a bit untidy, but he's working overtime. But for Laguta, look how fast he is once he hits the front. Super pace in front. He's going to win comfortably, and Zmarzlik will drop more points here, that's for sure.
Yep, Sayfutdinov second, but Zmarzlik tries one big run up the inside, and Sayfutdinov leaves the door open. Now down to the line they go, and I think Zmarzlik gets there.
Tell you what, Sayfutdinov was kind to him there.
He left loads of room,
Loads of room. Was almost too respectful. Sayfutdinov crashes after the race. Don't know whether that was because they was just trying a bit too hard, but he was very, very respectful and concerned about Zmarzlik dive-bombing him into turns 3. There was certainly plenty of racing room there. Let's hope that Sayfutdinov is okay after that incident after the finish. But Laguta was sensational there. The start and the speed. Wow.
Yes, wow, indeed.
He keeps doing that, he'll be champion.
Yes, he will. He looks more composed, and he looks faster than Zmarzlik tonight as well. Bartos has been a bit untidy on more than one occasion tonight, and including in that race, heat number 10.
Not quite got the bike working as he would like, so he's riding a little bit too much. He's overriding it a bit. Got through into second place, but we've got some concerns about Sayfutdinov there because we didn't see it on camera, and unfortunately we're not there, so we missed it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's come a cropper after the finish, and let's hope that he's okay. He finished third, I believe. I think that Zmarzlik got that second place, but
yes.
We're hearing that we can go for the replay, so
Yes.
but that would suggest a Laguta there. Now let's watch what exactly happens here. Oh, there's a bit of contact
Well.
there. Tell you what, that's a nasty fall.
Well, this is interesting now. Is there some contact?
Oh yeah,
Well, that's not nice. That is not good.
tell you what, that is a nasty crash.
Dear me.
And I'll tell you what, Zmarzlik's a bit naughty there.
Well, he's got the lead, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't leave him any racing room.
But is that not racing, Kel? Or are you saying that that might be a little bit over the top?
I think that's a bit naughty. Takes him away. He's got nowhere to go. He can't move the fence out of the way, can you?
No. That's really awkward, but he's okay.
No exclusion though, is there?
No, those replays don't look good. Yeah, it is confirmed as Laguta, Zmarzlik, Sayfutdinov. So the referee is happy that no exclusion is
Little
necessary.
bit unsavoury that. A
Not
little
good,
bit,
yeah.
Little bit. Maybe a sense that Bartos is just finding it a little bit difficult.
Well, I'll tell you what, Emil will not be leaving him that much room if it happens again.
Normally Emil's the fairest rider out there.
Yeah.
So Laguta was superb there.
Laguta the winner, Zmarzlik second, Sayfutdinov was third. And that means we have four riders on 7 now. Frick, Zmarzlik, Sayfutdinov and Artem Laguta all on 7 points apiece. But a certain Mr. Woofenden has got a race coming up in heat number 12 where he can overtake them in the standings. But yeah,
Smashing
hope
ride.
Okay. Hope Emil's okay.
I do hope so. It was a nasty looking fall. We didn't catch it in real time, but we saw clearly on the replay there that it was an untidy crash, and maybe you could argue that Zmarzlik was a little bit naughty there as they came to the end of the race. Maybe his judgment, he didn't figure that Sayfutdinov was going to be that far alongside him, but Sayfutdinov was still racing for second place, that's for sure.
It's such a shame when Emil left him so much room.
Yeah, almost too much.
Too much, absolutely, yeah.
Gave him too much respect, but good to see him walking back to the pits. He got a point, and he's still in the battle, and he'll be dusting himself down.
But you can't crash like that and not feel it later in the evening. He's going to be stiff and sore for the rest of the night, isn't he, Emil?
He'll be stiff tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
he'll keep going now, but a bit untidy there and a touch fortunate to get away with it.
Madsen, Lindgren, Janowski, Kasperzak. Lindgren, 1 point from 2 rides, just not happening for him tonight. And he is still chasing that bronze medal before tonight. Freddie Lindgren 2 points behind Emil Sayfutdinov, 121 against 119. And heat number 11 it is.
There's a lot riding on it, you know.
Yes.
If you get third in the world, that is great. And from a sponsorship point of view, a profile point of view, a sense of pride. So Freddie Lindgren is an extraordinarily proud man, and he has battled hard. He's a consistent performer at this level. Hasn't had a good night so far. Needs to pick up a win here now, you would suggest.
Yeah, Freddie's been a late developer when it comes to world-class talent, I would suggest.
Yeah, agreed.
Heat number 11 it is, and that's a good start from Lindgren off gate number 2. He goes wide in that first turn. Madsen has the advantage. This will be interesting now. This will be interesting.
Wow!
Janowski, where did he find that from?
I was going to say.
Absolutely, jet propelled, and Lindgren now into second. Get out of the way. He didn't leave any room there. Madsen's going to return the compliment here. They're all at it. They're all having a go. Lindgren on the outside run again here into that banking on turns 3 and 4, high into the banking, but the lead is with Mats Janowski, who was simply stunning there in a fantastic move.
Jet propelled out of the first corner, flew to the front, and he's cleared off. Track is improving now. All of a sudden, riders can really have a go on it. Freddie Lindgren, though, he'll still be frustrated because Madsen has got the better of him. And Freddie will only finish in third place here, and that'll only be 2 points from 3 rides. Janowski, that's more like it. He really looks stunning there.
Yeah, really quick, and I agree with you. The track has come to the riders in heat number 11. They've clearly got confidence in it. They're going to all parts of the track and are really having a go. And Mats Janowski now, Kelv, with 3 points there, puts himself on 6 points from 3 rides, and that transforms his evening.
He's in it now, and all of a sudden he'll have a lot of heart from that. Can he finish with a bit of a rattle over these next 2 nights? Janowski, super there. Really nice ride.
Leon Madsen second, Freddie Lindgren was third, and Christoph Kasperzak at the back. 11 races gone here now. That's how it's looking, with 4 riders on 7. Woffington and Janowski on 6, but Woffington has got heat 12 in hand, and that is coming up next.
Yeah, well, he found something special coming out of this first corner, Janowski, because initially it was all about Freddie, who just ran a little bit too wide there with Madsen up the inside. But look at that, just a bike hooked up beautifully.
Grip, yeah.
I tell you what, all of a sudden that water's gone and the track's got a little bit of grip in it, and the riders are really relishing it, because we saw a proper bit of speedway here. Leon Madsen and Freddie having a real good go, with Madsen also desperate for points because he wants to push his way into the top 6 and qualify by right. Freddie having a tough time, 3 from 3, not really good enough, but that man 6 from 3, 2 to come. He could very well make the semis tonight.
I think when Greg hasn't been in Magic's pit corner, he's missed him badly, Kelv.
It's not good enough excuse. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't. He won Grand Prix without him, so I don't suggest. I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe it's because he was there and then he wasn't there. Maybe that affected him. I can take that argument, but he has done very well.
I'm not arguing.
Well, you've
just making a point.
You've put the opinion out there.
You're not putting me down.
I'm just saying you're wrong.
Again. Sapelski. All right.
Try harder.
All right.
Try harder.
Sapelski up the inside. Oh, dear. And Zapinski goes off gate number 2. He's the second reserve, Karol Zapinski, in for Martin Vashili. Ty Woffington goes off gate 3 in white. And Oliver Bernsen going off the outside in yellow. Heat number 12 it is. Woffington has ridden brilliantly so far tonight.
He has indeed. He's been really fast. He's out of gate number 2. Sapelski won last time from gate 1. Can he repeat it, the wild card?
Here we go. Woffington has nailed it again from gate number 3. That is sensational. And the reserve, Zapinski is second, but not for long. Charging around the outside in yellow is Oliver Bernsen of Sweden. The lead, though, is with Great Britain's Ty Woffington in the white helmet colour. On his way to a third straight win, it seems. 9 points out of 9. Bernsen second. Sapelski third, and the reserve Zapinski is at the back. But what about Woffington, Kelv?
Class out in front. This is what we've been looking for, waiting for from Woffington. Absolutely fabulous out of the start. Clean pair of heels. Good battle for second between Sapelski and Bernsen, but they have no answers. Woffington looks like he wants a win here this evening. Likes this place. Going great guns out in front. He's going to lead the Grand Prix after his third ride.
Yeah, riding brilliantly. There's no stopping him here, Ty Woffington. But of course, we must emphasise it all boils down to a 1 minute semi-final, a 1 minute final to decide where you finish on the night. But it's 9 points out of 9, and I think it's fair to say Ty can start looking forward to a semi-final in Torun in round 10 of the World Championship.
He's in. He's got his fan there, number 1 fan there, hanging over the fence, cheering him on. A lot of people, of course, back in the Grand Prix, back in Britain, of course, will be cheering him on, and we're delighted to see him riding so well. What a wonderful start that was again from Woffington.
2 points for Bernsen, 1 for Sapelski, and Zapinski, the reserve at the back. Woffington leads the GP. He's the only unbeaten rider from 3 rides each.
It's pleasing to see Ty riding so well here tonight. It's been frustrating at times, and quite clearly they haven't found the right sort of setups, but he's sharp there. He's sharp there. The bike dug in. I know the bike worked, but he was also really on it as well when the tapes went up. Mindset on the start line is a lot. It means a lot. It's not just about your equipment. You've got to want to make the start as well, and Woffington wanted to make that start. Gate 3, not great, but wow, he was sharp. Won nicely, comfortable out in front. Sapelski tried hard in third, but couldn't do anything about Bernsen. And Szapelski's going to have to up his game next year, I tell you. He's done well to get in, but Szapelski will have to be faster than that. But there's no question that this man looks like he's the real deal tonight. And it'll be interesting to see how it works out as we get to the business end of the meeting. But so far, so good.
Yes, that's the Ty Woffinden we've been waiting for. We know what a fantastic talent Ty is, and he looks up for it as well, Kel.
He does. He looks really, really hungry for it, doesn't he? And it's good to see. He's had injury problems again this year, as well as a broken back the previous year. So he's had a run of. He hasn't had a clean run in the last couple of years. He's moved out to Poland as well, so there's been a lot of change going on. But let's hope that there's more of this to come.
We can hear from his fellow Brit, Robert Lambert, now.
Robert, great beginning of this round, but the third outing wasn't so lucky for you.
No, it's just a bit of bad luck, and sometimes something tweaks and you drop that clutch a bit early. But no, that's in the past now. So we just keep going and move on to the next one. We've still got 2 more heats to enjoy some racing here.
That's most important. How do you find the track today?
It's a little bit different to normal track conditions in the league. Obviously, it's totally different meeting, so yeah, it's a little bit different. But yeah, we're adapting to the surface and trying to be quick.
Have you had a chance to practice here before the meeting?
Not recently, so yeah, just come here and have a look at the track and try and work things out.
And just a quick one about your first season here in Torun. How did you find it?
It was pretty amazing. You know, obviously getting to know new people and also people that I already know who's in the team. So you know, it's a good atmosphere. Just our results on the board didn't you know, show otherwise.
Great to see to hear that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Well, he's pretty relaxed about it. I know I would have been a bit more forthright in my comments, but let's hope that he can bounce back.
People,
no, I hope he can bounce back. He's got a couple more opportunities. I want to see him make the semi-finals. We've got more now with Marcelo.
Leon, do you agree with me that the atmosphere today is quite electric?
Yeah, it is. You know, it's always like that when we race about the World Championship, and it's the last 2 meetings, so it's getting very intensified and electric, like you say. It's especially in the top, you know, between Bartos and Artem fighting for the World Championship. They're very close, so yeah, it's interesting, and yeah, we all want to do our best, and so yeah, it's cool.
And what kind of attitude you came here today with?
Attitude?
Attitude.
Yeah, I came with positive attitude, you know, and positive mind to try to do my best and do everything I can to catch Maciek in the top 6. But it's very difficult. I know that 13 points, it's a lot to catch in 2 meetings. And especially now when I just lost to him, that was not the best result for me. But still, you know, it's points at the end of the meeting what counts. So. We're still in there and just trying to do our best, but it's not easy, it's tough, and the track is a little bit difficult also tonight, and I'm not in my best fitness level, so it's very hard out there.
So let's talk about something positive, about Moto Arena and your best memory from this place.
My best what?
Memory, your best memory.
Yeah, I have a lot of good memories here, and I'm gonna give it my all, you know, try and make 2 more good memories after this weekend.
It's very hard to speak here while it's so loud. Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, Leon Madsen, always good for a chat. And we probably will be about another 4 or 5 minutes before we crack on with heat number 13. But yeah, understandably, the Ty Woffinden camp looking pretty relaxed. Now, this was really tough. I don't know, Kelv, is there a cause for the referee to look at that and think, maybe I could have thrown Bartos out?
Yes. You could suggest that was dangerous riding.
Yes. Especially after Emil was so generous in the room that he left.
Yeah.
Bartos.
Yeah, he didn't replay the compliment, did he?
No.
And Sayfutdinov goes down heavily there, and he could easily have broken his arm, he's dislocated his shoulder, his neck is... I tell you what, that is a nasty-looking incident. Smashing ride from Junovsky here. This is a return to form from him. Suddenly a move like that, and you've hit the front, bike feels good suddenly. Yeah, that will be a boost to his confidence. Leon Madsen, well, quite clearly this year he's had health issues and his fitness has suffered, and he's finding it tough. Shapelski, as I said before, I don't want to be too harsh on him, but Pavel Shapelski will have to be faster than this if he's going to maintain his position in the Grand Prix next year. It is a big step up from league racing. Good to see that man. He's not quite so smiley, happy man now because he's had a hard fall, but he's been going well. That man there, you could argue, was a bit out of order with squeezing him up against the fence, but I think he's a very focused man. He's desperate to win his third World Championship. Huge pressure on Bartosz Zmarzlik. He is now a huge figure in his home country. He transcends the sport, you know what I mean? When you get the Prime Minister giving you the World Championship trophy at the end of last year, you kind of made it. And there's no doubt that he will be trying to keep his emotions under control. But he hasn't been quite at his best so far this evening, and he's having to work very hard for his points so far. Freddie Lindgren, well, hasn't gone to plan so far, just the 2 points from 3 rides. Robert Lambert, now this is a moment to redeem yourself, Robert. Threw some points away and an opportunity away after 2 very good rides. Goes from gate 4, not great. Do hope they don't put too much water on, and I think there's an opportunity to race hard from the outside.
Yep, so here comes Bartosz Zmarzlik then. All about taking the title down to the wire tomorrow night with Artem Laguta.
It'll be great if it does. For the neutrals, it will be fantastic viewing and compulsive viewing, of course, if we go down to the final tomorrow and it's a shootout between the two. We're going to have some, something happen along the way. These meetings always throw up a spanner in the works, or something dramatic will happen. But so far, both the 2 top protagonists are hanging in there nicely.
Yeah, we'll have a clearer picture after tonight, won't we, of course, depending on where Bartosz and Artem finished this evening. So, yeah. Heat number 13 is on the way very shortly indeed. With Robert Lambert on a warning, of course, after he was thrown out by touching the tapes a little bit earlier. So he's got to sit still for his final 2 outings tonight.
We've got Zmarzlik waiting for Zmarzlik here, haven't we, to come out to gate number 2. But you've got to believe that 2 points here for Robert Lambert would be handy, wouldn't it, to move on to 7. And with 1 more ride to go, that is a good chance of a semi-final, and he needs that.
He does indeed, yeah. And here comes Zmarzlik.
Tell you what,
a little bit below pace tonight.
Well, I tell you what, they're working hard. They're not comfortable. They're not sure what way to go. No water on the track this time.
So here we go with heat number 13 then. Going off the inside in red is Oliver Berntsson. Then off gate number 2 in blue is Bartosz Zmarzlik, but some late work on his bike setup by the pit gate for Bartosz Zmarzlik, not ideal. Christoph Kasperzak off gate number 3 in white, and Robert Lambert of Great Britain needs to bounce back after that tapes exclusion last time out. He didn't seem too upset about it, which I think is
surprising.
Remarkable, really.
Surprising. Here we go.
Yeah, he needs to be wound up and ready to go here, Lambert, from gate number 4. Can Zmarzlik show a little bit more speed, a little bit more pace than he has done already tonight? Heat number 13 it is, and Zmarzlik has got there from gate number 2 in blue. Now, what can Lambert do in yellow? He's been filled in. He's struggling at the back here, Robert Lambert, and after 5 points from 2 rides, he could end up being 5 from 4. Oh, dear, as Kasperzak tries the inside run on Anders Thompson and has come through into 2nd spot. Lambert now will try and close that gap at the back. Zmarzlik has got this race under control, no problem.
Yeah, he has. I'm still not completely convinced that he's quick enough, because Kasperzak has closed in on him, and Kasperzak is certainly not one of the quicker riders out there. And Bartosz Zmarzlik is having to work very hard for his points. His sheer talent and determination is keeping him out in front. Desperate for Robert Lambert. You're right, Nige. It's looking like it's 5 from 4. Got to do something on this last lap. Can he get the better of Berntsson? It's not looking likely, and that's such a shame. But for the world champion, moving on to another race win, that's just what he needed.
Now Lambert tries the inside run for 3rd place.
Might have got it.
Might well have got that. That was a real good switch up the inside. It was a calculated switch up the inside from Robert Lambert. But 3 big points for Bartosz Zmarzlik of Poland.
Yeah.
He needed those, and he's now up to 10 from 4. He's in the semi-finals tonight. That's the big news. And here's down to the line. It looks as though Lambert has got that third spot.
Yeah, he got that.
So it looks like 6 from 4 now.
There's a handy point. He struggled through the race. He didn't really work the outside that hard, but he finally got there. That man winning races, and he's on 10 points, but I don't think he's happy. You can see the shake of the head there. There's more to come from the world champion. They're still searching for that sweet spot on the bike, that's for sure.
Yes.
But he's hanging in there. This is all about determination from Bartosz Zmarzlik at the moment. He's doing the business. He's keeping himself in this championship chase, but they need to get a little bit more speed out of the motorbike. Makes a good start. Kasper Zak there with him. Bernsen on the inside. Gate 4 has been tough tonight, hasn't it?
Really
and
hard,
Robert Lambert there is at the back, and it takes him 3 3/4 laps before he actually steals a point. We're looking at Woofenden, but it's
why?
I'm not quite sure, but he wasn't in the race. I don't believe he was in the race, but Robert Lambert, coming out of the last corner, just about gets the better of Oliver Bernsen. And I know he's a reasonably good-looking man, Tai Woofenden, but it's this moment late in the race that we're really concerned about, because Robert Lambert has given himself a lifeline with that point.
Yes, and he did get third spot there with a sensational move that we didn't quite see there.
We did see Tai Woofenden, though.
We saw Tai Woofenden, yeah. Zmarzlik, the winner from Kasper Zak from Lambert, and Zmarzlik is now on 10 points. We're going to see him in the semi-finals, no problem whatsoever. Heat number 14 it is then, and Matej Zagar goes off the inside in the red helmet colour. Going off gate number 2 is Pavel Szapelski, the wild card, who has had an up-and-down night tonight. Szapelski with a win, a third and a last. Madsen off gate number 3, and Jason Doyle, who really has had things go against him tonight.
Yeah,
could have argued that exclusion, Bernsen could have gone, Janowski could have gone, you know.
Could have gone either way,
Yeah,
but he was got the rough end of the stick.
There was no clear-cut answer to that, although no
Heat
doubt.
14, can Doyle bounce back with a win now?
Oh, and on the inside, Matej Zagar has been left standing at the start. Speedway all about opinions, of course, and the lead here in blues is Pavel Szapelski. Second spot is Leon Madsen. Third in yellow is Jason Doyle right now, going into lap 2 here. And Madsen charging up the inside run and really putting pressure on Pavel Szapelski. Oh.
Zagar's now running. I don't think the fuel was on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Szapelski's bounced back. He must have heard me when I said he needs to up his game, because he is. And he's out in front of the wild card. Doyle's out of it. Just not on the pace tonight. That's desperately disappointing.
That's a good move.
Look at Madsen round the outside. You're right, Nigel. Brilliant move from the Dane.
Yeah, he timed his move to perfection there, and he knew what part of the track to go to as well. Track is so much better here in heat number 14. Riders are really starting to enjoy racing this track surface now. Leon Madsen really kicking on. That was a really nice ride from the Dane, Leon Madsen, because Szapelski's good round here, and Leon Madsen calculated his move to perfection there. That was a lovely ride, Kel.
Super ride from Leon Madsen. Track improving all the time. Got a feel for Zagar. Something went wrong. Something not quite right with Doyle's bike either. Too far out of the action, but his woes continue. But for Leon Madsen, a very handy win. And
indeed, nice shot of the roof.
Yeah, lovely. And but Leon Madsen around the outside of Szapelski. Well, that was a good ride from him.
Yeah, and Jason Doyle third, but as you say, Kel, slow. And only 2 points from 4 rides for Doyley, so it's been a real tough night.
It's all over tonight for him. He's going to come back and do something better tomorrow.
Well, he's got one more ride, but he won't make the semi-finals. So disappointment for Doyley. But for Leon Madsen, third, the rider in white gets a victory under his belt and 8 points from 4 rides.
Yeah, first win of the night. Zagar packed up on the start line. Don't quite know what went wrong there. Out in front initially, Szapelski, and you've got to believe from that moment on, you've got to win the race from there, but rides too conservative and rides too low, and that allows Madsen to use the outside run. The track is beginning to develop nicely, and Madsen, look at this, this is proper speedway now. The guys can have a real good go, and that's good to see, and that's what we expect to see in Torun, because it's such a super speedway track. Madsen wins. That does himself a load of good, and Szapelski's still hanging in there doing a steady job.
Do you know, we've seen some fantastic action around this track down the years. We mentioned a little bit earlier off air, Kelv, about Darcy Ward, didn't we? And remember when he was a wild card here?
Well, I don't think I've seen better than that.
It was sensational.
It was absolutely extraordinary what Ward did then.
Absolutely.
He certainly made a name for himself that night.
Yeah, he did. And I know there's a compilation on DVD of his races. I'm going to make sure I'm going to grab a copy of that, because Darcy Ward, we do miss him, and he does watch the GP. So we send you our continued good wishes, Darcy. All the very best.
Is it morning there?
No idea. Anders Thompson, yeah, probably.
Thanks.
Anders Thompson
Thanks
off
for your
the
help.
inside. Yep, Anders Thompson off the inside. Matt Sayanovsky off 2, Ty Woofenden off gate 3, and Artem Laguta going off the outside gate in yellow. But I certainly see Darcy.
Good morning, Darcy.
Yes, I certainly do see him commenting on the GPs and our coverage. He does message me occasionally as well, which is great.
Outside gate.
Yeah,
outside gate for the World Championship leader. It's a tough place to be. Woofenden's flying. Janowski was superb last time. This is a good-looking heat. Can the World Championship leader get the better of the unbeaten Woofenden and the rejuvenated Janowski?
Yep, good race lineup here. Who's going to get there? Woofenden from gate number 3. What a start that was. Second spot right now is with Anders Thompson, and that man you said was rejuvenated, Matt Sayanovsky, has been sent to the back. Here comes Laguta in yellow.
Nice.
Inside run. Lovely move.
No
Sweet
panic.
as you like. Absolutely no panic. Cool as you like.
Yeah.
Woofenden leads, riding absolutely brilliantly. Woofenden is on fire.
Riding out of his skin tonight, that's for sure. Another superb start. Laguta's coming though. He was last. Look how well he's worked his way into the track. Can't understand Janowski. How can you ride so good in the previous race and be tailed off in this one? I can't get it. I don't get it. But Woofenden's having a super night. Laguta's hunting him down. He'd be happy with 2 points. Once again, the speed of Laguta is there. But this man, he looks like a winner tonight for me.
12 points out of 12. Ty Woofenden is in the semi-finals. No problem. We knew that anyway. But he's just stamped his authority with 4 straight wins.
Brilliant
Ty
stuff.
Woofenden, yeah. And second spot there for Artem Laguta.
Teammates, of course.
Yep, teammates with Wrocław. But that will do nicely for Artem Laguta, just ticking along.
I tell you what, you could see the confidence in him there. He didn't panic, didn't he? He trusted that he's got the speed, and he just picked him off beautifully.
Yeah, Janowski at the back with Anders Thompson third there. He was a mystery, but Ty Woofenden on 12 points from 4 rides is the clear leader of the E-winner Toruń SG Speedway Grand Prix of Poland. It's round number 10, and it all comes down to a conclusion in the same stadium tomorrow night.
Well, that camp is full of the joys of, well, it's not spring, is it? It's autumn. I'll come up with something better. But they're certainly happy in the Woofenden camp. That's for sure. We're looking at the start again. That bike's working well for Woofy. Absolutely superb to the first corner. Laguta, that gate 4, I tell you what, you don't want it tonight. Late on, you get gate 4. That could be problematic. Smashing ride from Laguta. He passes everybody very easily there to get through into second place, and then he actually closes in on that man, but he didn't panic. This man has got 12 out of 12. He can't win the championship this year, but he's riding like a champion here this evening, and that is so encouraging to see. And can he finish well this season and be a genuine contender in 2022? We do hope so back in the UK. But for that man, his camp, all going very nicely.
And can Ty Woofenden help Great Britain to Speedway of Nations glory in Manchester in a couple of weeks' time?
Well, you'd like to think so.
At Bellevue.
He likes the place, Bellevue. He's ridden well there before. In the World Cup a few years back, can't remember exactly what year, he was sensational there.
By the way, it's 4:39 in the morning in Australia.
So it is the morning.
Morning, everyone. Freddie Lindgren off the inside. Do my best Richie Benno there. Freddie Lindgren off the inside. Max Frick off 2. Krzysztof Lewandowski, marvellous. And going off the outside is Emil Sayfutdinov. Yes. Oh, what's he doing? Good. Is he burning his clutch out?
Yeah, the clutch was knackered, wasn't it?
It was what? Sure.
Well, the clutch
was malfunctioning.
It was worn out.
You're on air.
Oh, well, he had some clutch issues there, didn't he? And they dragged him into the tapes, and he's got excluded as a consequence. Shame. Yeah, bike just pulling him forward. He couldn't hold it.
Right. Yeah. What a shame.
You can see the bike, he can't hold it, you know, he's revved it up and it's just pulled him forward. Nothing you can do about that as a rider, you know. When the clutch is pulling it that hard, you can't stop it. Well, you can, you have to shut the throttle off.
Which is what he did when he touched the tapes, of course. So, yeah, slight delay in Torren.
I've got a feel for Martin Vasilek. He's had some bad injuries, and that might cost him his World Championship spot.
Yeah, I hope he's going to be okay, because the proof will be whether we see him tomorrow night or whether that's his season over now.
I think he's just relaying the fact that the clutch is not working properly.
Yes. I won't repeat the words you used, but it's a regularly used phrase.
Yes,
course.
it is, yes.
Apologies to anybody that doesn't like the use of that phrase.
Okay, all right.
But we're up to
I don't think it's
16.
that bad, is it?
No,
Not that
no,
industrial, is it?
No.
No, okay. Right, we're moving on. We're going to leave that behind us. And it never happened, right? It never happened. But Freddie Lindgren, this is a big ride for Freddie here because, well, third place could be slipping away from him here this evening. Just hasn't worked out for him, has it? He's on the inside, but what's he got? 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the night for a 2-point score when you're
he needs to win his last two and hope that that's enough.
And he's got Emil here as well, who's got 7 from 3.
How would Emil be feeling after that nasty tumble?
There's a thought, yeah, there's a thought. So it's a chance for Zapinski to replace Lewandowski, who replaced Vasilek. So that's where we're at.
If you understand all that, then you're a better man than me.
So it's Lindgren, Frick, Zapinski and Saifudinov. The lineup for heat number 16 in Torren.
Well, Max Frick is going nicely, isn't he, tonight?
Freddie's going to need 2 wins to try and salvage his night.
Well, you're not listening to me. I just said that.
Yeah, well, I'm just...
We're looking at Woofenden again, smiling. I said that Freddie Lindgren needs 2 wins, and that
I just
might be
said that.
Yeah.
Were you listening?
I was, and I just said...
Heat 16.
I don't wish to talk about it anymore.
Heat 16.
Max Frick is having a good evening, and he's on 7, and he won it like... Freddie Lindgren on the inside, a win here would be useful.
It could indeed. Heat number 16 it is. Lindgren off gate number 1. Oh, he's been out-trapped there. But can he hold the line? It's Max Frick in second spot in the blue helmet colour, coming round the outside. Oh, dear me. It's very, very tight, and down goes Zapinski.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Yeah, the red lights will come on.
Now, if the referee is consistent...
Freddie goes?
Freddie will go, yeah, because he's the one that caused Zapinski to go down. That will not make Freddie's evening, will it?
No, I think he'd be slightly annoyed at that. Zapinski is up. Freddie goes back to the pits, and now a decision for Jesper Steentoft once again to make here.
Not good decisions to have to make.
He's sat up, so it's good to see. Hopefully nothing too serious there. Here we see it again.
Freddie out of shape.
This is the moment.
He's not,
there you go.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah.
How unfortunate.
I'm expected to see the red exclusion light come on now.
I'd be amazed if it's any other light.
Well, it's not Zapinski, is he? He clouts him twice. He hits him halfway down the straight and then again on the entrance to the corner. So
looks like 2 from 4 rides for Freddie Lindgren.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, all going wrong in the battle for bronze for Fredrik Lindgren of Sweden. Takes his left leg there. Yeah, his dirt deflector stays on his left leg for quite some time there, Kelv.
Just unbalances the youngster and he goes down. He has no choice but to go down. So, Jesper Steentoft, I'm fully expecting the red exclusion light to come on any second. I'd be surprised if it's white.
Yeah, Lindgren is excluded. That's confirmed from the referee, Jesper Steentoft. So we'll have a rerun with 3 riders only. And Freddie Lindgren goes into his final ride of the night with only 2 points from 4 outings. Karel Zapinski gets a huge round of applause from the crowd in the Marianne Rose Arena, the motor arena in Torren, just outside of the city centre, and it is a beautiful city, Torren, as well. Let's see this again. But yeah, only one decision to make really for Jesper Steentoft. That's the angle there, isn't it, Kel?
Yeah, you can clearly see the contact. You know, you could argue that there was nowhere for Freddie to go because he's got a rider right up the inside of him, but when you look at the earlier decision with Doyle, then there was really only one way Steentoft was going to go, and he's made that call. Good to see the youngster. He doesn't look too unhappy, does he? So he's going to be ready to go again. But we're not getting a very smooth run tonight, are we? We've had
No.
long grading breaks, and we've had quite a few restarts, so it's not going to be an early bath for everybody this evening.
No, but a whole day tomorrow before the deciding night of the World Championship, because Artem Laguta and Bartosz Marslik, the two contenders, are both going to be in the semi-finals in Torun this evening. Now, Karol Zapinski will have to get a move on to get himself ready for
Quite a big
for the
lad, isn't he?
restart.
He's
Yeah.
quite a big lad, so you'll have to watch that, unfortunately, at this stage, because speedway riders generally tend to be quite small.
Tony Briggs, the floor manager, having a chat with Zapinski. Just being checked by the medical staff that he's okay, collecting his helmet. And now he'll begin his preparations for the restart of heat number 16. Well, of course, around Europe, playoff time. We know that Wrocław are the champions of Poland. We know that the finals are about to take place in Sweden. And in the UK, in the Premiership and the Championship, playoff time is here. So it's an exciting time of year for Speedway fans, and when you've got the Speedway of Nations coming up at Bellevue in 2 weeks' time, Saturday and Sunday, then we've got some really exciting Speedway meetings to look forward to.
We have indeed, and it's the culmination of the season, of course it is, and it's always exciting at this time of year. We've got to keep our fingers crossed that the weather behaves everywhere, particularly in the UK, because it didn't last night, unfortunately, and Sheffield v the Bellevue Aces was called off due to
didn't it
rain.
rain up there, yeah.
Was a shame, but here tonight in Torun, it's chilly, but it's dry, and that's great news. And the forecast for tomorrow is also pretty dry as well, so we should get to the conclusion with good conditions and good racing, and possibly a new world champion crowned. We will see in a little over 24 hours time. As I say, we're having to be a little bit patient this evening because we're having one or two incidents, but not a full house, as you can clearly see, but still plenty of energy, and we're being told that there's a great atmosphere there, so that's good to hear.
Yeah, you'd like to think that there'll be a different story tomorrow, that there'll be more people tomorrow for the deciding round of the World Championship.
I can't believe there won't be. I genuinely think, with Bartosz Marslik going for his third consecutive World Championship, you've got to believe that he will be well and truly supported, and the place will be packed to the rafters. We've got riders coming back round now, which is good news. And Max Frick, although we argued and we sort of spoke over one another, and it was totally unprofessional in the build-up to this race, Max Frick, I believe, is doing quite a good job tonight, Nigel.
7 points from 3 rides, done really well. Agree with that totally, and you get a win under his belt here, moving into double figures. We know he's done well here before, that's an understatement, with his win. And heat number 16 is where it's at. 3 riders only then. Max Frick is in the blue helmet colour. Mikkel Mikkelsen is in town tonight, watching on, the Dane. Gate 2 is Max Frick in the blue helmet colour from Australia. His national manager, Mark Lemon, is in the pits tonight. He was due at Sheffield in the UK last night for the Bellevue Aces meeting with Sheffield, and then, no doubt, a mad dash to the airport for an early flight into Poland this morning. Karol Zapinski off gate number 2 in white, and then it's Emil Sayfutdinov in the yellow helmet colour. Heat number 16, Sayfutdinov, 7 points from 3 rides. And he looks to build on that here. Can Frick make it from gate number 2? As we await the referee for heat number 16. They're away, first time of asking this time. No problem with Max Frick off for gate number 2, leading the way, and here comes Emil Sayfutdinov round the outside. Lovely move, and he timed his move to perfection there, to be fair. The Russian rocket, Emil Sayfutdinov, with second spot to Max Frick, going to put him on to 9 points, and this will put Emil Sayfutdinov on to 10. So that means that he has a real chance to strengthen his claim for the bronze medal over Freddie Lindgren, who won't appear in the semi-final tonight.
No, it's looking good for the Russian rocket. Lovely move around the outside of Frick. Frick's right there. He's on the pace, Frick, but I don't think he's going to get to Sayfutdinov. And Supinski is tailed off in third place. He'll pick up a point, but these 2 boys out in front are having a real good go here. Sayfutdinov riding nicely, and 10 points. Well, 9 points, excuse me, for Frick in second place. and he'll be pleased with that.
Yes, absolutely. A good result. Oh, now we have Zapinski down on the
happened
deck.
there?
Just lost control. Zapinski, and dear, oh dear, oh dear.
It is 10 points for Sayfutdinov, excuse me. He had 7 points, and that moves him on to 10. 9 for Frick. And unfortunately for the youngster there, he's obviously made a nasty mistake at the end of the straight. Again, we didn't quite catch it.
No, 2 finishes only then. So Emil Sayfutdinov the winner, Max Frick second, and Zapinski did not finish the race. And fingers crossed he's going to be okay. So only 2 finishes for heat number 16. But Emil Sayfutdinov, 3 wins out of 4, 10 points from 4 rides.
Nice.
Max Frick onto 9 points with 3 seconds and a win.
And a nice ride for him to bounce back after that nasty fall, you know. So, you know, that'll just restore his confidence, and he's comfortably through to the semi-finals.
Sayfutdinov and Frick, the finishers. Zapinski and Lindgren get 0 apiece. Overall, Wuffinen goes into the final round of qualifiers, 2 points ahead of his rivals.
Yeah, well, it's all just starting to take shape now. Not very quickly, but nonetheless, we've now got 16 races completed, and we can see who the winners and losers are. There are some big hitters. I think it's a bit of a shock to see Freddie Lindgren having such a poor evening, and that's going to be something he's going to have to do something about tomorrow now. But Emil Sayfutdinov has capitalised on that, so the bronze medal he's getting closer to. The replay of this with Max Frick initially making a good start from gate 2, but Sayfutdinov using the banking coming out of turn 2 to his benefit there and just swooped around the outside. That's the sort of move we couldn't see earlier on because the track wouldn't allow, but now it does. And that's what Torren's all about. It's a steep banking. Actually, the TV pictures don't do it justice. When you're there, that first corner particularly is quite heavily banked. And it's a joy to ride, it really is. Here we're seeing the youngster. What does he do? Oh, dear. That's a nasty crash, you know. Oh, dear. That's just pilot error. Pilot error, just got a little bit carried away. Let's hope he's okay. That man is, and he's back in it. And work to be done, of course, but there's no question with a race to go. He is in the thick of the action. Good to see Sapinski going back. When you're that age, you made a rubber, and that's handy. That's handy, but it was a nasty-looking fall, that.
Inexperience?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just got himself just a bit out of shape. Bike hooked up on him, and just got away from him. But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure we'll hear more from those youngsters. They've got plenty of kids coming through, and this new generation, Discovery taking over the rights, and Tony Rickardsson, he won't have to work too hard in Poland. I think it's his home country, though, where he's got to look hard because there's no youngsters coming through in Sweden. I'm sure if Tony's back in Speedway, he'll want to encourage young Swedish riders to take the sport up again and try and follow in his footsteps.
Well, you mentioned Tony Rickardsson. It's great to see him in Torrent tonight. He's part of the new era of Grand Prix Speedway from next year.
And look who's joining us here, Tony Rickardsson. It's so nice to have you here. First question, how do you find the competition so far? It seems to be very electric.
Well, I tell you what, it's fierce racing out there. It's going really, really fast, and it's so nice to be back and see them racing live. But it's tough going. It's you can really feel the tension.
What do you think, how would this cycle end? Is it going to be Bartosz Marslik or Artem Łaguta?
Ooh, it's a tough one. I think a little bit strange answer maybe, but I think the rider that are in second position tonight going to win tomorrow.
Let's talk about the future a little bit. You've become an ambassador for the next season of Speedway Grand Prix. How do you feel with this nomination?
Well, obviously, I'm extremely honored to got this job appointed to me, and I just look forward to it. You know, I'm really ready to go, and we already have some great plans for the coming year. So it is really exciting.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the vision of developing the youth racing, because you're going to be in charge of this as well?
Yes, we're really trying. You know, we're trying to really find a good, let's say, a good technical product for the, let's say, under 15. especially really try to boost the 10 to 15-year-old racing. And but you know, it's a lot of different options to choose from. But I think we have a pretty good idea on what we want to do, and the more youngsters we can bring to the sport together with our family, it's going to be great.
That's really important. Just one last question, because taking into consideration your great experience, what tips, what advice would you give to all those riders who are here today?
You know, just go out and enjoy yourself and really have fun when you're sliding a bike. That's what I did.
Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he was pretty good at it as well, you know.
Just a bit.
Yeah, and he did some truly remarkable feats on the way. I will never forget, and you won't ever forget, that first corner in Cardiff when he rode around the air fence.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And it was a truly remarkable. And that 2005 season where he was just in a class of his own. He really did set the bar very high there.
16 years ago, Cal.
Yeah, and he won 6 World Championships. We were very fortunate to do a podcast with him in the lockdown last year, and I tell you what, it was just a great listen. He was superb to chat to.
Yeah, it was brilliant. All part of the new era of Grand Prix Speedway from next year onwards. As we build up to heat number 17, there's another multi-world champion that's in the pits, apart from Greg Hancock. But the legend, Barry Briggs, is in the pits tonight, which is great to see, and we can hear from him now.
And we have Barry Briggs, another legend here. It's so great to have you here. How do you find this competition so far, and how is it to be here in the pits area?
Oh, I feel particularly old being here, but I'm going to say it's really a different class to what we did. We never had beautiful pits like this, and it's super to see.
And how do you find this venue? Moto Arena is hosting this Speedway Grand Prix round for the 13th time in history. It's a beautiful venue. What do you think of it?
I'm having trouble understanding you, darling.
I'm sorry. What about the venue? The venue is the 13th time we have a Speedway Grand Prix here at Moto Arena. That must mean something.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's very loud. It's very loud. Okay, so just a quick question. Maybe we can speak like that. Just a quick question. What do you think about the lineup of this season? How do you find the riders on the track? What is your opinion of their competition, and who do you think is going to become world champion this season?
Oh, you've got to have luck, but you can't get points being in the pits through falling off or crashing. And it looks as though Bartos and Laguna are the favourites, but there's some dark horses there, but I don't know if they're close enough to make a difference.
When you watch at the Speedway nowadays, what do you think, how it has changed comparing to your days?
Well, in my day, you had to win all your races, otherwise you wasn't champion. And with the Grand Prix Series, I would have loved the Grand Prix Series because it cancels out all your bad meetings, and it's much easier over 5 or 6 meetings or 10 meetings than what it is one meeting. If you have a bad ride or your engine quits, you're not going to be world champion. So it's much more cutthroat. This is nice. I like this. They seem to be smiling, some of the boys, so they like it as well.
And if you think about your best memory from all of your career, what would that be?
I'd probably think winning your first world championship. You don't think you're capable, and you do it, and a big change in your life that you've done something, and then it's a lot different than chasing to win a second or whatever than what it is your first one. You know, your first one is your hard one.
And one last question about, during your experience, what is crucial to be successful in this sport?
Crucial, you've got to try to be fair but hard. And I'm going to say you've got 1 minute to do it. It's not like a lot of other sports. You can wear people down. You can't do it. You've got 1 minute, and you don't earn any points by being in the pits.
Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Well, we got there in the end with Briggo.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Remarkable man.
He is a remarkable man, and I've been very lucky to have spent some time with Barry in the past and out in Southern California. So, yeah, he's quite a special human being, actually.
Certainly is. There's not many like him. And heat number 17 is coming up now. So here we go with heat number 17, and quite the lineup here. Robert Lambert off the inside gate, needs a win really. Going off gate number 2 in blue is Leon Madsen, who's got 8 points to his name. Emil Sayfutdinov going off gate number 3 in white, and the unbeaten Ty Woffenden, 12 points out of 12. But Kelv, this is a test for Ty from gate 4.
It is, but he does have the luxury of knowing that he's already qualified for the semi-final, so no panic stations for him. But you're right, and he's a proud guy. I think the real pressure is on the man on the inside, Nige, with Robert Lambert. He gave himself a lifeline with a third place last time after the exclusion, but this is a tough lineup for him to make the semi-finals. I want him to, I really do, but I think he's found Grand Prix tough. But for Woofenden, who's leading from the front this evening, riding out of his skin, gate number 4, I tell you what, that is quite a challenge, and Sayfutdinov's going great guns as well.
Just a quick note, great to see Barry movement at the start. The race continues here. Woofenden has been left at the back, and Lambert has the lead. Robert Lambert now, but he loses a bit of control, and that allows Madsen up the inside. Now Lambert, can he return the compliment? Third place right now is Emil Sayfutdinov. He'll take a point quite gratefully, I'm sure. Woofenden is going wide into the dirt, but Madsen rode nicely. Lambert just lost it momentarily, and that cost him.
He does that quite a lot, actually. He lifts and it kills his speed, and that's a shame because Madsen was there ready to pounce. Another Grand Prix lesson, you would suggest, because he made such a good start. He's untidy, he can't afford to do that. He's just got to keep his concentration and keep going on, because he could still make the semi-finals for second place. Woofenden's going to drop points for the first time. Gate 4 really has been penal this evening, but for Leon Madsen, he's going to win his last 2 rides, and he's going to go through nicely.
11 points for Leon Madsen, a tidy night's work. A second spot for Robert Lambert moves him on to 8 points. Sayfutdinov third, and Ty Woofenden trailing in at the back.
Unexpected, that.
Tall order for Ty Woofenden going from gate 4, but he goes into the semi-finals on 12, and for Emil Sayfutdinov, another point on the board, puts him on to 11 points tonight, and his nearest rival for the bronze medal, Freddie Lindgren, will not make it, because he's only on 2 from 4.
Yeah, good effort.
So Freddie can only score 5 from 4 rides. He will not make the semi-finals, but a good win for Leon Madsen rounds off the qualifying heats with a total of 11 points for Leon, and that is a tidy night's work, Kel.
It is indeed, and you've got to say that he's not at his best this season, but he's battled hard in those last 2 heats, and he's showing a lot of character. Here we see it again. Robert Lambert a little bit eager on the start there. I thought for a moment he was going to get thrown out, but
not as eager as Ty.
No, well, well, he misses it completely. Oh,
see what I mean?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at Lambert. You're right, Nige. And certainly the pressure was on Woofenden, but he misses out this time. Gate 4 has been particularly difficult here this evening.
He snooked himself there.
He did indeed. He just dropped the clutch too early. But this is the stuff of
the moment.
Yeah, but that's later in the race actually. Leon Madsen's already passed him. But the fact is that that's when Robert just needs to keep it calm. Leon Madsen did and picks up another win, and he's nicely through to the semi-finals. And he's going to be pushing Janowski. He's 13 points back. It's unlikely, but he's certainly putting his best foot forward.
We're up to heat number 18 now, with Lindgren, Zagar, Berntsen and Thompson. None of these riders really in contention.
Racing for pride.
Racing for pride and positions and points. Lindgren off the inside gate. It's been a hugely disappointing night for Freddie. Needs a win here to finish as high up the standings as possible outside of the top 8.
Got to be his worst Grand Prix for ages.
Yes, absolutely. Matti Zagar, Oliver Berntsen, Anders Thompson, they're all also Rans tonight. Heat number 18. But the race winner might just feel a little bit more content with, not content because it's a disappointing night, but might just take it forward going into tomorrow evening. But with Emil Sayfutdinov starting the night on 121, Lindgren on 119, that gap is going to be significantly bigger in around about 20 minutes to half an hour's time from now. Heat number 18 it is. Now going into that first turn, Lindgren has missed it from the inside gate. Now he's going to try the inside run. Zagar and Berntsen going for it. The man in yellow is Anders Thompson of Denmark. Lindgren just not on the pace. Look at him here now on the inside. The lead is with a man in white, Oliver Bernsen. Lindgren tries the inside run again here for second spot.
Yeah.
Thompson comes through into third, and Zegar tails off on the back.
Yeah, Freddie Lindgren working hard in second place, didn't get away as well as he would have liked, and you're right, Freddie hasn't had the speed here this evening because Bernsen, all four of these riders have found points very difficult to come by this evening. Bernsen's riding well here. This will be a big boost for him if he can win a Grand Prix heat. Anders Thompson's coming on in third place. But Freddie Lindgren, well, this is going to be a night he'll want to forget and start again tomorrow, that's for sure. Degar out the back. But for Oliver Bernsen, well, this is a little bit of a consolation for him.
Yeah, Lindgren's gone wide, and that allows the man in yellow, Anders Thompson, to come up the inside.
Well, that's inexplicable because Freddie normally is such a tough man to pass. Oliver Bernsen is delighted to have won that race, and that's encouragement.
That's remarkable from Freddie.
But for Freddie to slip back to third place on the last lap there, that's almost unheard of, and we very rarely see that. So Freddie clearly out of sorts this evening.
Finishes on 3 points from 5 rides.
Disastrous.
Yep, Bernsen wins the race, and that hasn't happened this season. Oliver Bernsen been really struggled to land a blow in the Grand Prix series, and that's what we're talking about with riders like Pavel Shepelski. Let's hope that he can be more competitive than, with the greatest of respect, Oliver Bernsen has been this season. He's just not been at the races, really, has he?
No, he's found it very tough, and it's a huge step up. You know, you come through the challenge and you have a sparkling day and you come into the Grand Prix, and that pressure of performing in the Grand Prix, it really does hit you. And the step up and the quality of the top 6, 7, 8 riders is well, it's exceptional. They are the best, and I think there are several riders, particularly older riders like Zegar and Kasperzak, have found it very difficult this year. Don't know what's going on with Lindgren tonight. Clearly there's an issue. There must be, and I'm sure they'll rectify that tomorrow. I'm expecting big things for him. But at this moment in time, it's disastrous because he was battling for third in the world, and that's probably going to make this job almost impossible. But a heat win for Bernsen, he'll be pleased with that.
Yes, heat number 19 is coming up here. Janowski, Smarslik, Shepelski and Frick. Frick has ridden nicely tonight. Smarslik, who goes into round 5 of the heats tonight, a point ahead of his nearest rival Artem Laguta for the world title, but the points are distributed where you finish in the semis and the final. Janowski 6 points, can still make the semis with a win. Smarslik off 2 is already in there on 10. Shepelski off gate 3 on 6 points, and Max Frick is off the outside. He has 9 points.
He does indeed, and he's ridden nicely, and he's going to see more from him. Got to say, Janowski, I thought he was rejuvenated, but unfortunately it didn't last very long. Only lasted about 60 seconds because the next time out he was at the back, and that's put himself on the back foot here. Needs a big ride now.
Does indeed. Oh, and he's jumped the start, Matvei Janowski, and he's taken the lead, so the red lights are on. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I think that moment there just pretty much sums up where he is mentally.
Yes.
You know, he's alongside the world champion, he's desperate for points, and he's got the inside gate, which has worked pretty well tonight, and he's just a little bit too eager.
He's lucky not to have touched the tapes, isn't he?
Yeah, very lucky.
Wow.
I think this winter's huge for Janowski, don't you? Because,
yes,
you know, to have been a Grand Prix winner, a championship leader earlier in the season, looking like he was the real deal, and for it then to all of a sudden to have left him. Remember that night, I think it was earlier this year, he couldn't make a start, and they didn't change the bike. You know, so the decision-making processes haven't been there. And clearly, they're going to have a rethink for the 2022 season. I can't imagine that he won't be around for that. He's just too good not to be in it. But work to be done for Matvei, and it's a shame because he's so good, isn't he?
It must be so frustrating if you're a passionate Matvei Janowski fan. You're thinking, why? What on earth is happening?
Yeah.
So inconsistent.
Work to be done there, and yeah, exactly. Inconsistency is his nemesis, and he needs to rectify that if he's going to be world champion, because he has the talent to be world champion. Does he have the mental strength? Time will tell. Boys back up at tapes. And Max Frick, Nige, I don't know if we've mentioned this, he's having quite a good evening.
He's riding quite well, and he talks well.
He does, he's a nice man.
Professional rider, very much so. Yes. So heat number 9.
He's got 9 points.
Yeah, Janowski off the inside, Smarslik off 2, Szapelski 3, Frick off the outside. Here we go, and they're away, no problem this time. And Janowski has made a decent gate off the inside. Now Smarslik will try the inside run. Has he got the speed, though? That's the key. He's looking dangerous, but the lead is with Mats Janowski. Now Frick is trying to close that door on Smarslik, and Szapelski's on the pace and doesn't leave a lot of room for Max Frick in third. The lead, though, is with Mats Janowski, and Smarslik doesn't appear to have the speed tonight to catch him.
No, he does not, and this is an encouraging ride for Janowski. He may well just have enough points here. 9 points could see him through into the semi-finals. Frick has worked hard to get the better of Szapelski. He's going to move on to 10. He might move on to 11 if Bartosz Smarslik keeps lifting like that. But Janowski's quick out in front. Smarslik is struggling. Here comes Frick. He's come from last to second. The world champion having to work super hard. Not fast enough. No. Simply not fast enough.
That's the summary of it. Bartosz Smarslik has lacked power tonight. It's a win for Mats Janowski, and Max Frick has passed Bartosz Smarslik into second spot, and that just doesn't happen on a normal night. Smarslik has got to sort this issue out for tomorrow, or he will not win the world title.
Agreed, and you're absolutely spot on. That man won't win the world title either, but that's a really good ride from Janowski. He's had a couple of really encouraging rides tonight.
Yeah, make the
fast out in front. No answers from the world champion. Frick coming through nicely.
Yeah, Frick has had a great night. Very consistent. Moves on to 11 with a win and 4 second places. So really good. But Pavel Szapelski rounds off his night with a 0 and finishes on 6. But
I think that scorecard, when we see it, will sum up Janowski. It will nail it.
1, 2, 3, 0, 3.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, where's the consistency there? It's nowhere. Terrific start after being nervous on the start initially. Second time of asking, he does the business. Smarslik is a sitting duck here. Normally, you've got to believe, with that, all the shenanigans going on between Szapelski and Frick, Frick had to work really hard just to get into third place, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, Smarslik loses all his pace. He hasn't got the speed tonight. They haven't got that bike hooked up. I do believe they may have changed bikes there, and that didn't work, because Max Frick was able to get the better of the world champion right at the end of the race, and that's disappointing for Smarslik. But for that man, we're going to see more of him, and that's good. But he just needs to keep it rolling and get a big, strong result at the end of the year to give himself a boost.
Now, Artem Laguta is on 9 points. If he wins the race, he'll be level with Tai Woffinden on 12 going into the semi-finals. It's a pretty even spread of scorers tonight.
Don't want gate 4. Don't want gate 4.
No, absolutely. Laguta, Kasperzak, Doyle, Lewandowski. And Lambert looks like he's going to sneak in with 8 points as the eighth rider in the semis.
That's really good news, because he needs a big night. He needs to just remind everybody that he can cope at this level, because he is going to be at the mercy of the organisers. He will need a pick for the 2022 season. So let's hope he can finish it off tonight and do it again tomorrow. Here we go.
Yep, heat number 20, Lewandowski for Vasilik off the outside gate. Here we go into that first turn. Doyle in white, but the lead is with Laguta. Now Doyle is going to try the outside run, but Laguta, sweet as you like, just got the right place of the track at the right time. Pulled clear there. Doyle wants to bow out tonight with a big race. He's got second place. Third is Kasperzak, and the man at the back is the young reserve Lewandowski.
Laguta in a class of his own. Already half the length of the straight in front after a lap and a half. And the way the bike drives off the corner is a sight to behold. It's absolutely superb. Jason Doyle is a former world champion and has no answer. Look, Laguta's going to win this race by the length of the straight, and that is extraordinary at this level. Laguta out in front, riding out of his skin once again. Less than a lap to go. He's going to just go cruising through into the semi-final.
Yeah, he'll go level with Woffinden on 12 points. Woffinden now has got 4 wins to his name, so he'll finish top of the qualifiers for the semi-final. It's a win for Artem Laguta, easy as you like, 100%. And a third place for Christoph Kasperzak with Jason Doyle in second spot. Doyle finishes on 4 tonight, a point ahead of Freddie Lindgren. Kasperzak in third.
Lovely
he
ride
scores
from
6. Yeah, brilliant. I mean, he just made it look so easy, and the margin of victory was so comprehensive.
Well, compared to Smarslik, I mean, wow, there's
That
only
will,
one winner.
Yeah, there'll be alarms in the Smarslik camp, I'm sure. Laguta, Doyle, Kasperzak, Lewandowski, and Artem Laguta heads into the semis with 12 points.
Well, a lovely ride from Artem Laguta once again. Once he hits the front, off gate to number 1, red helmet colour for him. Just lifted momentarily, which is rare for him. Doyle's right alongside him, and you've got to believe that Doyle in this position, you'd fancy his chances. But look at that. Bike just digs in and drives out of that first corner. Such a lovely feeling for a rider. He sits in the bike, and they've got that bike set up beautifully, and he pulls further and further away. And if Smarslik was watching this, he'll be concerned, very concerned, because Smarslik hasn't got that set up here this evening, and he's having to work much, much harder for his points. Artem Laguta reproducing the form we've seen throughout the season, and once again really putting everybody to the sword. He isn't buckling under the pressure yet. Work to be done, of course. Big points on the line. Will the Russian man win his first World Championship?
Yeah, it's a tremendous ride, looking really quick. Really quick.
I think he's going to do it, you know.
Yeah, I do as well. On this evidence, you would suggest so.
But I'm going on the evidence of 4 Grand Prix wins, you know, not shying away from Smarslik. Smarslik's form mid-season was just sensational, and Laguta hung on to him, didn't he?
Did indeed. Just waiting for the confirmation of the points, but it certainly looks like Robert Lambert has nicked in 8th place with 8 points.
That's great news, and that means we've got 2 Brits through to the last 8. And for Robert Lambert, this is timely to do that, because he's had some disappointing Grand Prix, and he's made a few mistakes, which is understandable. But with these last 2 rounds, under the spotlight of the new organisers, the new rights holders, all in attendance, it's timely that he makes it to the latter stages, so he gives himself a chance of being a Grand Prix rider next year.
Still waiting for that confirmation, and I would make a prediction here that Artem Laguta and Tai Woffinden, different semi-finals, they will both go from gate 1, Kelv.
Yeah, 1, possibly 2.
Yes.
Possibly 2. It just gives you a little bit more room in that first corner, but no surprise for the inside gates to be the favoured ones. Gate 4 has been particularly difficult. You just can't get even that big turn back that we see some riders. They haven't been able to produce that. Woffinden couldn't. He was, although he did penalise himself, as you rightly pointed out. But no, gates 1 and 2 will be the favoured gates here, I'm sure.
Bit of track grading as we oversee the Marion Rose Motor Arena, and I was spot on there with Lambert sneaking in the last qualifying spot. Woffinden, Laguta, Saifutin off Smarslik. Madsen, Frick, Janowski and Lambert. Just 1 point separating 6 riders, Kelv.
Really tight, isn't it? You know, an indication of how competitive it is. Woffinden obviously you would have sensed that he would be a little frustrated with that last ride, but didn't panic. Here we see the points being handed out for Burns and Freddie Lindgren 3. That's disastrous. Absolutely disastrous. It could easily be 10 points behind.
That could be it.
Yeah, it could well be 3rd place lost for Freddie, and that will be, well, he'll be hugely disappointed. And we see, here we see the draw now for the semi-finals coming up. First semi-final. We're expecting riders with the big points to go to the inside gates, and we'd be hugely surprised if they go for gates 3 and 4. I know where I'd go. I'd go there. Woffinden off the inside gate, and the world champion off 2. It's going to be fairly straightforward, this. Frick off 3, yeah. And then, unfortunately, gate number 4 for Janowski, and that's a shame because he's ridden well, but
well, he got the win, didn't he, in his last ride to get into the semi-final.
But that's going to be tough from gate 4 up against the world champion, although the world champion is vulnerable tonight. So Janowski beat him comfortably in their last outing, didn't they? So all is not lost for Magic. Could well still see him in the final. So semi-final number 2. And you've got to believe that Artem Laguta will take the inside. No, he goes gate 2.
Wow.
Goes gate 2, and I'm not completely surprised about that. He quite likes that. Emil Sayfutdinov off the inside, so the two Russians looking good for the final. Got to say they're favourites for the final here. Leon Matsanov 3.
You tease.
Yes, he is.
He was going to go for 4. Good luck, Robert.
All the very best. No, but he's there. He's there.
And behave yourself. Don't move at the start, Robert.
Don't blow it. Give yourself half. Don't blow it. You know, don't throw it away on the start line. You give yourself a chance of racing for it, because anything can happen. Bit of good fortune in the first corner, and bingo, you're in there. But nonetheless, I do sense that Zmarzlik, I sense, is under a bit of pressure here. If he doesn't find a little bit more speed, he might find himself dropping some points to Laguta, because Laguta looks rock solid.
Absolutely. So it's all set up beautifully here, but in terms of the title race, these semi-finals are now absolutely crucial. What happens over the next 10 minutes or so, Kelv, could give us a big indication as to how tomorrow night is going to pan out.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is now, we're getting down to the crunch. We're getting down to the business end of things. And now all of a sudden, you know, these very important races where the big points are handed out, you've got to say, on the evidence of what we've seen so far, Zmarzlik is up against it. He hasn't had the... he's done well, actually, to get the points he's got. A lesser rider, I don't think, would have made the semi-finals on the setup he's had tonight. Particularly that last ride, I think he changed the bike. I can't be sure, but I think he changed the bike, and that backfired on them. But you can't discount him, because he always seems to dig in and find something special when he really needs to. And he's going to need to now, because Artem Laguta has shown some stunning speed once again here this evening. And his form is still rock solid. Smashing looking semi-final here. Genuine quality. And great to see Woffinden riding so well. And it's the inside gate. He looks hungry, he looks eager, wants to get out on track. Pit gates open, and they burst out, and the gladiators come out. Max Frick, he's a nice guy, isn't he? He's a nice lad.
Yeah, speaks well.
He speaks very well, and he's got a future, that man. But it's good to see. It's good to see Woffinden riding well. Could be a bit of a spoiler here. Could make Zmarzlik's life a little bit harder than he wants it to be. And all of a sudden now we're beginning to get to that point where the championship is a reality. It's on the line. And these moments now, these seconds coming up now, could very well decide the difference between being champion or not. Exciting times.
Yep. Business end of the season, business end of the series. Zmarzlik and Laguta kept apart in the semi-finals on the Friday night.
Good.
Round 10. Yeah, good indeed.
Yeah.
And now, I would suggest there is pressure on Zmarzlik.
Oh, there is. Huge.
To get through to the final, because he's a point behind Laguta.
He's got another bike there.
Yeah, he's not happy, is he?
No.
He's not convinced, Kelv.
No, he's not. He's not comfortable, and he's clearly unsettled tonight.
Well, Bartosz Zmarzlik, far from convinced about his bike setup. He's the last to arrive at the start. He's been back to take a look. There's been a spare bike out there.
Not sure if he changed it, but
No.
still, nonetheless, indecision, and that is not good news.
No, Woffinden, Zmarzlik, Frick, and then off the outside is Janowski. But definitely, Kelvin, Zmarzlik has been well below the Zmarzlik we know.
Yeah.
And he can still get away with it tonight.
Yes, he could.
But
I think a lesser rider wouldn't have made the semi-finals on the setup he's had this evening. He's had to work very hard. He hasn't had the speed. He's looked vulnerable at times, and that was epitomised in his last ride, where Max Frick was able to get the better of him late in the race. And that is so unusual when Zmarzlik gets into a position he normally hangs on to it. Massive moment in the context of the championship right now. The man in blue, can he do it?
big moment for Bartosz Zmarzlik. Woffinden's off the inside from Great Britain. And the tapes rise, and Woffinden has made a beauty. Can Zmarzlik get there? He's got to finish second here. Bartosz Zmarzlik has got to finish second, or the door will be open for Artem Laguta. Zmarzlik's gone to the back. The lead is with Woffinden. Second place is Janowski. Zmarzlik's come through into third, but this won't be enough for Bartosz Zmarzlik, because if Laguta makes the final, he could well have a significant advantage. And now he's he's at the back again.
Oh, it's just not working out for Bartosz Marszalik. He's been vulnerable all throughout the evening. Woffinden out in front. Janowski in second place. They're going to the final. Bartosz Marszalik forcing his way back to third. But the championship, wow, this is a huge moment.
Absolutely, it is Ty Woffinden of Great Britain who leads this semi-final, and his Wrocław colleague Maciej Janowski is with him, and Janowski looking quick in yellow. But this is a big moment for Bartosz Marszalik, and the door is open for Artem Laguta.
Yeah.
If Laguta makes the final tonight, he surely will have one hand on the world title.
Can't disagree with that. I fancied there was always twists and turns in the championship race, and the world champion's the first one to crack. Great ride from Woffinden, strong ride from Janowski in second place. They're in the final, but the world champion misses out.
Wow. Yeah, he can only think of what might have been, and one thing's for sure, Bartosz Marszalik has got to get his bike sorted for tomorrow.
He has indeed, but Knights, this has been coming tonight.
Yes.
He has not been on the pace throughout the evening. They've clearly tried to roll the dice, indecision before the semi-final, and it's backfired. What a moment for Laguta coming up.
Wow. Well,
this is the defining moment. I think this could very well be the defining moment in the championship chase. Smashing for Woffinden, superb. And Marszalik actually doesn't get even off the line. He doesn't get to the first corner, and it's just not working out. Whatever it is, whether he's got too much power or he's got too much wheel spin, but the bike's not doing what he wants. There you can see it's not reacting as he would like, and all of a sudden he just cannot generate the speed, that stunning speed that we see from him so often. Janowski was quick here. In actual fact, arguably the quickest rider on the track in the semi-final. That moment there, it was over then. It was all over there. Any chance of making the final, that was the moment, because he loses all his momentum. But as I say, the moment really is all about Laguta coming up, because if he makes the final, then the World Championship almost is his to lose.
Absolutely, yeah. Bartosz waves to the crowd. He knows that it's not quite been his night.
What's he going to get? He's going to get 11 or 12, isn't he?
Yeah.
So if he gets 20, if Laguta wins, then he's got 11 or 12 point lead going into tomorrow, then it's pretty much done. What a moment for Artem Laguta. They will know the significance of this race. It will be hitting them hard.
Job to do here for Laguta, though. Sayfutdinov off the inside in red. Artem Laguta goes off gate number 2, has just seen his nearest rival for the world title go out at the semi-final stage. Leon Madsen gate 3 in white, and Robert Lambert off the outside in yellow. Laguta chose gate 2 in blue.
Yeah.
He picked that gate.
Yeah. So feels comfortable there.
Yeah.
Emil Sayfutdinov will be a huge rival on the inside, but I fancy Laguta will get the better of the other two. What an opportunity for the Russian now.
Yeah, real opportunity, and Artem Laguta's nailed the start beautifully from gate number 2. He has that lead now. You would expect him to kick on here. Look how quick he is, breezing into turns 3 and 4. Madsen's got speed, but this will do Laguta nicely. He's going to book himself a place in the final, and he and Woffinden will be in the grand final. And look at him, he's the quickest rider out there right now.
Oh, he's never ridden better. What a start under such massive pressure. He kept himself cool, didn't roll. The bike flew to the first corner. He's through to the final. If he can win the final, then the World Championship really will be. He'll be in the driving seat for tomorrow night. But Laguta hasn't cracked this season. He just kept producing and producing the stunning performances night after night. What a great effort it is from him.
This could be a defining moment in the world title race.
Yeah.
Marszalik won't make the final. Laguta does. Laguta wins semi-final 2 in Torun, and if he can win the Grand Prix, he knows there will be a substantial gap between himself and Bartosz Marszalik with 1 round of the world title to go. That is tomorrow night. Super quick, Artem Laguta. Can anybody stop him tonight? What a result, what a performance. He's into the final. Laguta, Madsen, Woffinden and Janowski are your 4 finalists tonight in Torun.
Well, you're right, Nige. What a moment that is. And what a professional rider. Emil Sayfutdinov missing out on gate 1, and that's a bit of a shock. and he'll be disappointed to that. But Robert Lambert riding quite strongly. But Leon Madsen, I'll tell you what, he's turned his fortunes around in his last 3 outings, getting 8 points from his last 3 rides, and he's into the final. But Artem Laguta, the race time, everything about this performance in this semi-final epitomises his season. He's been absolutely rock solid, great action for 3rd place, but unfortunately not quite enough for the young British rider to join Woofenden in the final. He does too much of that, Robert, and that kills his speed. And that's a shame, but for Artem Laguta, they know how much that meant. And if he can win, then he's going to have at least a double-figure score advantage. It could well be 10 or 11. Bit of advice from a 3-time world champion, but Artem Laguta, I don't know if he needs much advice.
Well, Ty's been quick tonight as well. 5 wins out of a possible 6 for Ty Woofenden. So it's been a great night. Now, this is significant, Kelvin. Zmarzlik scores 12. Bartosz Zmarzlik scores 12 points. Now, Emil Sayfutdinov has scored 10, and Freddie Lindgren has scored 3. So now, Emil Sayfutdinov has a 9-point gap.
Yeah.
9-point gap.
A handy lead.
Freddie Lindgren for the bronze medal.
A handy lead for bronze. And you've got to say that with a point lead coming into the night, if Laguta can win, what would it be? It will be...
well, he will then have an 8 points, have a 9 overall.
9 overall, and that would be quite a lot to claw back. Not inconceivable.
Not impossible,
Not inconceivable, of course not, but it would be advantage and game on.
I think it's a big ask.
Yes, it is.
I really do. It's not quite as tense as it would be,
no.
Particularly if Laguta's bike is firing as quickly as it is tonight.
Still got to win the final.
Yes, he has. That's a very relevant point.
Still got to win the final.
Yeah.
There's a carburettor and engine plates and a steel shoe all sort of like cobbled together. Very unusual. And an old Amel carburettor in there.
Looks like your old 2 kit. Looks like you in the pits at Coventry.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Rusty and
I really appreciate that.
No, your kit was always really good, Kelv.
Thank you, Nigel. Thank you.
You were really well turned out, very professional.
I know that was very sincere.
No, I didn't mean it. You were. You were always smart, well turned out, professional kit.
And miserable.
And miserable, yeah.
But
like tonight, you're smart, miserable, well turned out.
There you go. Nothing's changed. Oh, what a moment for Laguta.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of a sudden there's a crack in the world champion. It's not over. He needs a bit of good fortune. It's beyond his control now, Zmarzlik. He needs Laguta to finish 4th. And then there'll only be, what, 3 or 4 points in it.
Well, yes, it will be 3 points. If Laguta, remarkably, if Laguta finishes last in the final, he'll finish on 14, and Zmarzlik's got 12.
Exactly, and then all of a sudden
it needs an engine failure.
Yeah. So he's still not done. He's still got to win this race, Laguta. So pressure well and truly on. Woofenden off the inside.
So that's Laguta off 2 then, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he'll be happy with that. He chose it for the semi-final. Laguta off gate 2. He's been immaculate off the start. Only once off gate 3 when it was wet, when we struggled, but it's not wet now. So, and gate number 3 for Madsen.
He's teasing again.
Yeah, it'll be gate 3. Got to be gate 3. Yeah.
Madsen off 3.
And Janowski off the outside. But Janowski came through off the...
He looked quick, didn't he, Kel?
Yeah, but he came from the outside in his semi, so when he got through to 2nd place, and you're right, he had a lot of speed, so he's got nothing to lose. He can enjoy this. He's back in the big time. And it's a good result for Matsei. If he can get on the roster, and I'm sure he'll be really pleased with that. But to be perfectly honest, this is all about one man now, because the other 3 are not in contention for the championship. They're not actually in contention for a medal. So this is all about Artem Laguta. Can he win the final? Can he win his 5th Grand Prix of the year and have an 8 or a 9-point lead going into the last round tomorrow night? What a moment, what an opportunity. Can he take it?
Well. Huge moments in the World Championship. A reminder, if Laguta does finish last in the final, he'll get 14 points. Zmarzlik has scored 12. But a win would give Artem 20 points.
Yeah.
2nd place would give him 18. 3rd place would give him 16.
First or second puts him in the driving seat. 3rd or 4th, it's still wide open.
Comfort,
Still wide open. So these are moments that he's never experienced before. These are moments where mental strength will come in. He's shown great mental fortitude throughout the season and has maintained a level of performance that even the world champion and even how well Zmarzlik rode earlier this year has struggled to cope with, because, you know, in Voyen's last time out when he won there, I mean, that was a difficult night and he came through in flying colours. The next 60 seconds when that tapes go up, it could well be a defining moment. Changes your life. Woffinden knows that. He's done it 3 times, becoming a world champion. You're viewed, everything you say, everything you do is looked upon differently, and you put yourself into a very privileged position. And is Artem Laguta about to move towards that? Zmarzlik, of course, will not throw the towel in. He will keep battling hard. He is a proud champion and he wants a 3rd one. But as I say, the other 3, they're racing for glory tonight and winning a Grand Prix. But Laguta is racing for his championship, the first world championship. Can the Russian do it? It will be the first individual world championship.
So
this is massive now, isn't it?
it is. It's huge.
Massive.
Yeah, with tomorrow night and the whole season really on the line here. It's
60 seconds.
Yeah. So
here we go.
Massive moment. Massive moment for
exciting
Laguta. Yeah. And the riders out there ready for action. The Marianne Rose Motor Arena in Torun.
Well, it's kind of worked out. He's got the gate number 2. He had that in the semi-final. He made full use of that. Woffinden starting well, so it won't be easy with Woofy on the inside of him. Woofy will want to win tonight. It won't do him any favours. They're teammates, of course, in Wrocław, but there will be no favours done here. They're racing for glory. Woffinden has had a difficult time. What a massive moment. The final coming up very shortly.
Here we go for the grand final in Torun then. It's Tai Woffinden off the inside, Artem Laguta off 2. A reminder, Laguta wins the final and he will be 9 points clear of Zmarzlik going into tomorrow night's decider. Leon Madsen off gate number 3 in white and Mats Sajanovski off the outside in yellow. Huge race coming up in the context of the title race.
It is indeed, Nigel. It's a huge moment for Artem Laguta. The other 3 lads are not in the championship chase. They're chasing for their own pride, their own glory, and to remind everybody how good they are. But that man, he's been rock solid all year. Can he win 5 Grand Prix in a season and almost put one hand on that trophy? It's a huge moment for Artem Laguta. I don't know about the trophy, but I know out of the 2, I know which one I would prefer. But there's no question his team are nervous. Is he nervous? He hasn't shown any signs of real anxiety at all this year. His fortitude, his consistency has been absolutely out of the top drawer. What a moment for Artem Laguta.
Still a job to do here, though, for Laguta, and the Laguta camp will know that. Grand final in Torun, round 10 of the 2021 World Speedway Championship. Laguta's nailed the start. Absolutely breathtaking from Artem Laguta. Woffinden tries the inside run, closes the door on Mats Sajanovski, who's 3rd. It's Leon Madsen at the back, but look at Artem Laguta. Is there any stopping him? It doesn't look like it. And right now, it looks like Artem Laguta, the Russian, is going to win this meeting with 20 GP points, 8 ahead of Zmarzlik and 9 overall in the title race.
What a start again! Woffinden slamming his teammate up against the fence, desperately trying to hang on to 2nd place. Janowski now down the inside. Just about. No, can't quite get there, but it's all about Laguta tonight. He's got 1 more lap to go. And he's going to have a 9-point lead going into tomorrow night's finale. What a performance.
Absolutely breathtaking. And with no Bartosz Zmarzlik in the final, Artem Laguta has done the job and has got 1 hand on the world title. In Torun in 2021. He enters the final round of the series in 24 hours from now with a 9-point lead in the world title race. That is a sensational night's work from Artem Laguta.
And look at the race time, absolutely sensational race time. Artem Laguta nailing it once again. 5 Grand Prix victories What a season he is enjoying. Quite clearly now, he is everybody's favourite to win tomorrow. Bartosz Zmarzlik is going to have to come up with something very special indeed. Hasn't done it. Can he hold it together? But by crikey, he's done sterling work again tonight, Nigel.
He has.
He has done the business. Zmarzlik cracked. He delivered. That was a defining moment. I think we'll look back, and if he's world champion, that will be the time when he really put it to Zmarzlik. Brilliant performance.
He can win it in the semi-finals tomorrow. That's when Laguta can become world champion. Might not have to win it in the final. Laguta, Janowski, Woffinden, Madsen, your finishing order. All about how long can Zmarzlik hang on tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's going to be tense. The conclusion of the 2021 FIM World Speedway Championship is tomorrow night before we enter the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations in a couple of weeks' time.
What a start!
Whoosh.
What a start! He just keeps producing that time and time again. And even though he has, he's made a huge amount of starts. Look at that, absolutely textbook. Anybody wanting to make starts, watch that. Superb. Wooffinden's been great tonight. He was tough on Janowski, but it had to be to hang on to second place because Janowski had speed back in third, and Madsen misses out on the rostrum this time. There we see it.
Ooh.
Yeah, he does close the door quite firmly there, Woofy, but...
Janowski's had speed these last few races,
he has, yeah. And Janowski now gets up the inside, but Woffinden just could not resist that move from Matsei.
But Janowski, you know, he finished last, stone last in his fourth ride, and
yeah,
he's doing this.
How can you can't, I said at the time, you can't explain
how do you
it.
explain
You
it?
can't explain it, and then he suddenly comes up with a stunning ride like that. But three teammates, they won the Extraliga in the playoff final this last weekend gone.
Not a bad lineup, is
and
it?
all of a sudden, the top three from Wrocław in the Extraliga are the top three here tonight. But the man that probably is the most understated, and certainly probably was not a favourite for the World Championship, is the man in the driving seat now. So he has had an outstanding season. 5 Grand Prix victories, a 9-point lead going into the last round. Couldn't really ask for much more.
Yes, and of course our British viewers know the only way you get to see Laguta really is on TV these days, but next year Cardiff is back. That has been announced today as August the 13th next year, which is great for British fans. Let's get some reaction now.
Artyom, another fantastic night for you. Congratulations. Your biggest dream may soon come true. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, very good. Today is... Dziękuję wszystkim, także staram się pojechać najlepiej. Szkoda, że Bartka zabrakło w wielkim finale, także mam nadzieję, że jutro też będzie finale. Także dziękuję wszystkim, dziękuję mojej żonie, dzieciom, także jestem mega zadowolony, że znowu wygrałem. Pierwszy raz w historii w Grand Prix.
Just one more about in English for your fans around the world. How are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, thank you. Today is very hard meeting for me and Bartek. Yeah, I am very happy, and thank you my team, thank you fans, and my sponsor. Yeah,
thank you so
very
much.
happy.
Yep, so Artyom Laguta, it's looking like he will win the world title tomorrow night. Of course, you never know in Speedway.
Well, that's a huge step forward for him, Nigel, isn't it?
Absolutely. Woffinden 16 points for him tonight, which is a good night's work. Did well. So overall in the World Championship, let's just sum up how it is for you now. Laguta 178, Zmarzlik 169. Look at that for third place as well now. Sayfutdinov 131, Lindgren 122. But a huge night for Laguta and Sayfutdinov, and Ty Woffinden on 112. But Leon Madsen keeping him honest for that 6th qualifying spot for next year. But Woffinden should have enough in hand.
I fancy the top 6 are the top 6.
Yeah.
It's been a good night for the Russian boys. These three lads, of course, know each other very well. They ride together for Wrocław, and they will be enjoying this moment. The club will be as well. What a success story they're having. They could well have a new world champion amongst their midst next season as well.
Yes.
But for Artyom Laguta, a special moment. Shame he won't be able to hear his national anthem, really.
Of course. So round 10 of 11 done and dusted. Congratulations to Artem Laguta. I'm sure with his professional head on and his camp will be telling him, his manager, look, there's still a job to do, Kelv.
Well, yeah, they've got to, because as you rightly say, there is the job to do, and they need to just keep it on an even keel. You know, you've got to enjoy these. Of course, you've got to enjoy these moments, and he has had an extraordinary season, and it's looking like he's going to be crowned the top man, the best rider in the world at the end of it, because Bartosz Zmarzlik, unfortunately tonight, has just not come up with the goods, and Laguta has pounced and taken the opportunity.
Well, by my reckoning, under this scoring system, Kelv, Artem needs to finish third in a semi-final tomorrow, and it doesn't matter what Bartosz does. So he could win it by finishing third in the semi-finals tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, that's
if Zmarzlik's unbeaten.
Exactly. So, you know, he is in the driving seat, as we've said more than once. He's got one hand on it. He's taken his opportunity. Could have blown it there, you know, fourth place in the final, and all of a sudden just a 3-point lead going into the last round tomorrow night, and it would be a very different scenario. But for Artem Laguta, you've got to admire how well he did, because when Bartosz Zmarzlik, he had some indifferent rounds in Prague, he then went on that tremendous run of victories, consecutive wins, but Artem Laguta hung in there, and not only did he hang in there, he's then been able to actually come through and actually keeps beating him, and I think it's worn him down. I think it just has worn him down. But you know, he's won Speedway of Nations 3 times with his partner Emil Sayfutdinov. Everybody fancied that Sayfutdinov was going to be the first Russian to win the individual title. That's not going to happen now.
You've got to wonder whether Emil will ever win one.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's probably going to finish third this year, but could it be a 1-3 for the Russian lads?
It could well be.
What a season that would be.
But if we have a situation where Artem finishes third in a semi-final tomorrow night and gets 12 points, all Bartosz can do is win on 20. That 8-point gap means that Artem will win the world title by a point.
Yeah, so
it could all be done by the semi-finals tomorrow.
Exactly, but I'm sure there'll be a few twists and turns. There's no question about that. But
he doesn't jump at the start. He never gets warned.
No.
Everything is faultless about him.
Exactly. He's been rock solid and maintained his performance throughout the season.
You've had Zmarzlik wondering about his bike setup and 2 bikes out on the track at one time.
Yeah, he was unsettled tonight. It clearly wasn't working. They were searching for something that they couldn't find, and in the end they went backwards. And in the end, the last 2 rides he had, he just didn't have any speed at all, and that was his undoing this evening. But for this man, they've just looks like he's been riding the same bike all year, and he's had speed wherever he's been, and it's just looking like it's going to be his year. And he looks like a really amiable guy. I'm not sure we're going to get to know him that well because he doesn't speak very good English, but nonetheless he's been a terrific ambassador, really. He's done a great job so far.
Okay, Kelv, more to come tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Nige.
And congratulations to Artem Laguta, winner of round 10 of the World Championship in Torun tonight. More to come in just under 24 hours' time.